right, who wants to do the recap from last week? Shouldn't be too difficult.
I guess I can. Let me open it up.
You fucking
This
left
is
my
session
side.
36.
Amen. Gosh, amen.
Kalora and Brad went to go enrich the land underground. And then we did other errands, like going to Temple of Onatar, the Parliament building, to talk to the elders.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have anything in like tabs.
I got my cool Smith's tools.
Cool Smith's tools.
We eventually went to go get horses to go to Portside, and then we're gonna take a boat to Stale. We decided it wasn't gonna be wise to teleport.
We did some potion crafting.
Yep.
You all got your first
way.
real experience, practical experience, those of you that did help into the art of potion making.
We got horses.
We raced horses.
Yeah, we had a race. And then after that, we saw the old man that told us a bunch of crazy things about our characters.
Crackhead ass nigga.
Yep. Crackhead. And then I think the last thing we saw was the mushrooms.
Yeah, the last thing you saw was the mushrooms, and you found those mushrooms and took them.
Put them in the bag of holding.
Yes, with Narfran actually recognizing one of the variants of the mushrooms there as a delicious one that was very funny to certain people. And then you arrived at the city of Portside. Walking inside, I can describe the city again if you'd like, just reading the same thing I've got written down. But if you remember, we can just jump right in.
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. As you enter the city, you are momentarily blinded by the harsh sunlight reflecting off the stark white buildings. As your eyes adjust, your nose picks up the smell of fresh herbs and as seafood is being prepared for a meal. The ocean breeze tickles the exposed patches of your bodies. Once you can finally see properly, you take in the sights of Portside. The white buildings, the tallest of which are 3 stories, are accented by azure doors, window frames, and roofing tiles. Well-tanned and beautiful people, primarily humans, walk the streets in flowing white clothing, no doubt to stave off the heat. They're all attending to various tasks. The city guard, who you noticed immediately, are very lightly armored and carry gold-accented tridents. Each one has a whip coiled at his waist. Welcome to the city of Portside. Your next steps are yours. What would you like to do?
Can I just look around? I just want to see like what's around us in our immediate vicinity as far as like shops, carts, people.
Sure thing. Go ahead and make a perception check, just so we can see how well you notice things.
I want to make one too, but I'm just looking for somebody who
21.
knows about the city.
Okay. So 21 and Clarebold, you can make yours as well. Zafir, as you look around in this kind of main entryway area through the main gate, there are a couple of shops around. They seem to just be like resupply shops. There's a general goods store and a ship's goods store kind of right inside. It looks like further into the city, there might be a more mercantile area, whereas this is just kind of the entrance, and there are also some houses that are above these shops and things like that being just through the gates. You can see further into the city, like kind of all the way back directly in a line from the entrance you guys came in from is probably the docks area. It actually kind of the city is on a cliff, like on a precipice, so it actually goes down quite a bit. So from your perspective, when you're looking, we'll say, well, it's definitely west, but looking forward into the city, it looks like it has 3 or 4 tiers that are very sharply down from each other. So it kind of looks like from your perspective, there's just this street that you're on, this plain, and then a drop, and then the ocean underneath it is
Gotcha.
what it looks like. Clearbold, for you, as far as looking for somebody who probably knows the city, with that role, the only person you can really notice is the town guard. who, like I said, are wearing the same flowing white robes as everybody else, but they have like golden breastplates on, golden bracers on their arms, and golden tridents in their hands, and each one has a whip coiled around their waist, or around at their hip, I should say.
Okay.
Is there anyone around that's like extra, you know? The king is dead.
No town crier just yet. There are a few, Zafar, I'm sorry, you asked about people around too. There are other people around. There's a few people that look to be a little bit more swarthy. Certainly sailors, you can tell from kind of the salt stains on their clothing. Even some of them, if they're wearing leather, have some crystallized salt that's kind of building up in some of the crevices there. Most of those people have beards and are tan and more ruddy than the villagers. The villagers of this town all seem to be at least somewhat wealthy. At least you assume so. The clothes that they're wearing are very thin white fabric, which in a lot of places is either not cheap or not sustainable, because you're going to get too dirty to wear white fabrics. And these people are all wearing stark white, clean fabric, right? These people, the townspeople, are going through several or very different tasks than the people who are coming from the docks, the sailors. The sailors are carrying big hauls of rope or nets that need to be repaired, or hauls of fish that they need to sell, whereas the townspeople, a lot of them are carrying scrolls or books. Some of them are just carrying big coin pouches from one place to another. There aren't really any carts around. Like in Mightside, they would have different stalls and things and carts that would sell different things. This place seems to be more, the spaces aren't as big. It seems to be more a city of small courtyards and winding alleys versus big open spaces with lots of room to set up a cart. So most of the shops you imagine are either on the bottom level of residential places, which, like I said before, the buildings only go up to 3 stories high, or there'll be a mercantile area later on into the city. But yeah, it's a weird mix seeing the really richly appointed villagers, I say villagers, townsfolk, versus the sailors coming in from the docks.
So do we want to go ahead and head to the docks? Try and find a boat?
We have to hire a boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they require any sort of special pass, or I guess we can find out there at the docks. They should have everything.
Yeah,
Uhrad pipes up. I doubt that we need a pass or anything like that. The only thing is we probably want to do that first, the getting a ship, because God knows when they're actually going to want to sail out. Because if we get a ship and they're sailing out in an hour, then we'll regret going shopping first, so to speak. But we could get a ship that's sailing out tomorrow. You never really know. Usually there's at least 2 ships docked here any time of the year. This is a slightly less busy time of year for the shipping lanes, but there should be at least 2. We'll have to see. But yeah, I agree. We should head down there.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
let's go.
Okay. So you guys begin to wind your way west towards the dock area that Zafar pointed out before that he could just barely see. When you get to that point, Zafar, where from your perspective back there it looked like a drop off, it's actually a steep and winding staircase that goes down to another level below, down the cliffs. The staircase is kind of like switchback, so you'll enter and then go down, and then there's a small platform, a couple like probably 20 feet down, and then you go down again. Each step is probably twice the height of your average step in like a house, so it's kind of rough going. Like it's not super comfortable going up and down these stairs. The people who pass you going up, or some even pass you guys going down, are super comfortable. All the townspeople they must have very strong legs from going up and down these stairs every day, and they're very confident doing it. You guys get down to the second level, and immediately upon hitting the landing where you are, you look around a bit, and you do notice a few stores. There is what looks to be a pawn shop made out of the same white concrete material, same blue roof. This one's only 1 story tall, so you imagine it's the only shop within. Plate glass windows in the front where you can see just a mass of things inside. The sign that's hanging above the door says the Marching Tankard Pawn Store. There is a 2-level store with a what looks to be a living quarters on top of it. Again, all the shop, I don't have to describe it every time, but all of the buildings in this place are made from white concrete with blue doors and blue roofs. This one looks to be, it's got a sign hanging from it that has 2 crossed holly leaves and a little shield that says "This'll do nicely." It looks to be an apothecary. There is also on the left-hand side, a more squat building, though the roof is very highly pointed. Still a concrete, still blue roof, but it's got crossed swords on it. Both of the swords are pink, and it doesn't have a name. It's just 2 crossed pink swords as the signpost, so to speak. A little bit further on, as you guys continue towards the docks, there's what appears to be a stately home of sorts. It's got a wide white turret going up 3 stories, and then a large rectangular structure that forms the main living area of the home. Definitely looks to be a larger home, but it does have a sign coming out of it, meaning that it's probably a business as well. And it says in a flowing script, "The Early Mug Bed and Breakfast." Continuing onwards, you guys pass through another residential area. The houses in this city are all relatively nice. There's nothing you would quantify as a slum or a shack. They're at least 2 stories tall, all of them, at least that you've seen so far. And most of them are pretty wide and pretty deep into the city. So passing through that, you reach another crookback stair as you go down further and reach the dock area. The dock area is a little bit more familiar. You imagine that the sheer mass of people coming through this area is enough to at least somewhat change it from the structure and culture of the city above. They have a lot of people coming in from a lot of places, you imagine, and so you look around and see street food vendors where you didn't see any in the city below, small shops where people are selling goods, tables where people are playing cards or blackjack just in alleyways. Generally just looks like a rough and tumble dock area, although the area is well patrolled again by the armored and betridented city guard. Stepping forward and taking in the scene of what ships are available. Would you guys like to hear about some boats?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me get these pictures open so I can share them with you. Give me 1 sec. Because there are 3 ships that you can immediately see docked and waiting within the port of Portside. Oh, come on.
Sub dog.
All right, so this is the first one. Oh, Nathan, can you give me screen sharing rights again?
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to show you the pictures of each one and then allow you to choose which one you want to kind of look into more Uh, so this is the first one you guys can see. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lovely. Can you still see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. You can't see this, right? You just see the picture?
Just see the picture.
Don't know
Okay,
what this is. Yeah, we cool.
That good. I don't want you to see what this is. This is a. Do any of you have any sailing experience?
I mean, this looks like the ones from the third Pirates of the Caribbean a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, I took a long ship ride across the Star Lake. What's it called? Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that was aboard one boat. I don't think I'd
So I
consider that
wasn't,
sailing
you know.
So are you
experience.
talking about the characters?
Yes.
Oh yeah, my character does. I'm a freaking idiot. Sorry. Yeah, my character does have.
Wait,
sailing
I asked you if
experience.
you had sailing experience, and Reed said, "Well, I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean."
Yeah, pretty much. That's how that
They
works.
played that shit off pirates
Nice.
though.
Okay, well, I'll tell you.
Yes,
I'll just tell you the
Narfern-
name of these ships because I
Narfern
don't
has
think
sailing
any of you would
experience.
Fucking goof.
necessarily know what each type of these ships are.
I think Clarebolt is from a fishing village, though, isn't he?
He is,
That might be different.
yes, but none of these are fishing ships.
All right.
This is a basically it's a
Matt,
ship-
B-Rad wants to know if he has any programming like that.
B-Rad roll history for me.
That's a 3.
You were not programmed for sailing. In fact, you were programmed to not really want to sail.
Sweet.
It's a dark. The sails on this ship are actually dark maroon. You can see in this picture the sunlight is shining through them, but without the sunlight, they're pretty dark silken sails. It's got a black hull with some red trim on it and gilding along the sides. It's about 85 feet long and tri-masted. Nice looking ship. The next one you can see is, here we go, more familiar to you guys. None of you had seen anything like that first ship, but this one looks like a ship that would be in Faerun. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so this one is a caravel. Some of you would know that. You can decide if your character would know that it's a caravel. It's triple-masted. You can immediately see on it that it's somewhat bristling with weaponry. It's got 2 4-mounted ballista, a chaser cannon in the stern, and 4 cannons that you can see on the starboard side of the ship at the moment. The next one and final one is a ship that none of you would have seen before. This one is actually not at the docks. This one is floating probably 20 or 30 feet away from the docks. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yep.
It has it sits very low in the water, and it is really, really sleek looking. No sails, so ignore the picture's sails. This one has no sails whatsoever, and doesn't really even look like it should float. There are overlapping metal plates running across the side, something akin to like the lobstered mailed plate on a gauntlet, kind of across the side of the boat. In its center, you can kind of see over the top a hammered dome of copper in the very center of the ship that kind of just comes over and sits in the very center of the boat. So, what would you guys like to look at first?
Do we see crews on any of the boats?
Well, you're still pretty far ways back in terms of like you've just gotten off the stairs, right? So you're pretty far away from these ships, a good 200 feet. That's why I haven't given you their names yet. Each one of them has their name written on it, but you guys can't really see it from this point. You can just kind of see the general shapes of the ships. So you can get closer. I was just saying you can get closer to one of the ships at a time, or you can just get, on the actual docks themselves, take a closer look at all of them, and kind of see what you want to do.
Yeah, is there like
we want to go to the docks, right?
like a dock master we could talk to? Somebody who's in charge of receiving all the ships into port?
You can make a perception check.
I'd like to do that
I'll
as well
help
and see
with
what's
that
going
if
on.
I can.
Okay. 2 people can make it, so.
I
Or
haven't
one
done
person
anything
with
yet.
advantage.
I'll do it as well. I got a 21.
Okay, never mind.
Did you want to roll 2?
Well, he said 2 people can do it, and 3 people
Yeah,
said
no,
it.
that's
So
you and
Well,
Narford.
I said I was just trying to give you advantage, Mary.
okay. It is a 19.
19. Okay. Yeah, both of you pretty easily point out a small hut on the docks proper. So the docks are kind of there's 5 actual like out jutting docks. 3 of them can hold rather large ships, and then 2 of them hold a series of smaller ships, of which it looks like all the smaller ships are either out fishing right now or just not present. But just at the front of the docks, there's a small shack that looks like what you traditionally think of as a dock master's hut, where he, receives people and takes their money basically for docking at the port.
I think we should go talk to the dock master and see what ships are available.
Go speak to him and see what he says.
Do any of these ships seem like they've seen battle at all, or anything?
Like I said,
that?
you guys would have to get closer to really get
That's
real
right. Okay.
detail on them.
Okay.
But you guys can do that. I mean, it's up to you if you want to go talk to the dock master first, or if you want to jump in and look at the boats and then go over talk to the dock master about them.
I'll wait.
I'm down to go talk to the dock master.
Is Atior with us?
Atior and Deluharat are both there.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Atior. So which one do you think we should get? I mean, I know that you go around collecting students for your school, so I assume that you would have some knowledge on this.
Sure. In my opinion, it largely depends on the crews of the ships more than what the boat looks like. You can't really trust some people, and others you can. All the boats look like they'd get us across the channel, right? Or the sound, I should say. But I'd be worried about if one of them had ill intentions. The crews of any of these ships are going to, outnumber us.
It's a good idea. Didn't think about that yet.
No, I've been doing this a while, especially but on my own. It's something I have to worry about.
Is piracy common in this area?
It happens. There's a bit of a skirmish going on up north. I wouldn't say there's a ton of piracy, but there are certainly ships that look more like pirate ships than others, eh? And he kind of nudges and points at the one that doesn't have any sails and looks like a insane warship. What are you doing?
Shall we go to the dock master?
Yeah, let's
Go to
that
the
seems
master of
best.
docks.
Fantastic. All right, so you guys make your way forward closer to the docks, passing the street vendors and these smells of all kinds of different cooking meats, mostly seafood. You see people cooking oysters, others cooking prawns on an open fire grill just off the side of the alleyway. A lot of really good smells and a lot of really strange smells, a lot of spices you haven't really gotten used to or had before in your lives. As you get a little bit closer, you also notice on one of these smaller docks over to the right-hand side, a strange floating structure that could be at best described as a small barge, probably 40 feet by 40 feet, perfectly square, with barrels tied all the way around the side. A small, maybe 4-foot wide porch all the way around, and then a squat, low building in the center. This shop has a, or this building has a wooden sign tacked above. I'm having trouble speaking today. Tacked above the door, which is it facing the docks, that says the Salty Seafarer. You see people sitting in chairs on this little porch that rings around the outside, drinking from tankards. Other people coming out of the door, a little bit drunk maybe, and stumbling as they step back onto the dock. Cool. So you guys walk over to the shipmaster's shack. You step up close. It's just a building with a couple open windows, no glass, just kind of the cross beam and the door.
Are we still on our horses?
Oh, good point. No, your horses could not have walked downstairs. So I'll say there was a stable at the front if you guys wanted to leave your horses there. It's 2 gold to stable your horses for the entire day. They'll be fed, watered, and brushed. That's 2 gold per horse. If you would rather, you can also just tie them up outside the gates.
I'll say gold.
They're gonna be here a while, aren't they? Like,
The horses?
yeah,
Yeah, because we're not going to come back for them.
we're not.
At least not for right now.
Well, that's up to you if you guys want to take them on the ship or not.
I mean, I'm going to take mine on the ship.
That's probably costs extra. I guess we
I will
figure
pay
that out.
extra if I have to take my horse. I mean, my horse cost extra, so I don't want to just leave it sitting on a post.
Kalora, do you want to take the horse with us, or do you want to leave it at the stable?
Well, I think
Or
we need to
outside.
check to see if we're able to bring the horses at all.
Okay.
That could
Good
depend
idea.
on the ship. Some ships might not want to have horses, so we'll have to check with each ship.
Well, we had to leave it
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
right
true.
now. So do you want to leave it outside or at the stable for 2 gold?
We can pay for the stable.
I think we should just stable for it now.
Yeah, stable's
When-
a good idea.
When we give it to when we give the person the gold, do they accept the might side gold?
Yes, quite
Okay.
easily.
Cool.
They hand you back change in the same exact currency.
Sweet.
This is the same country.
Awesome. Just making sure.
Okay, so you got horses here.
Perfect. So you guys leave your
And
horses at
fast
the
forward
thing.
back
So
to where
fast
we-
forward back to you're at the shipmaster's office. I'm sorry, guys. I should have remembered that. There is actually a thing there.
Good question, Michael.
Oh, then I also should have mentioned the fact that as you guys are going down the stairs, you see massive cranes that exist on each one of the levels. So at the top level, there's a crane, and at the next level, there's a crane, and at the bottom level, there's 2 cranes that can pick things up and move them into the next layer up, so people don't have to carry them up and down the switchback stairs. You see, like, things being transferred up and up the cliffs from the docks, and also things being transferred from the top down to the docks as well.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you're at the shipmaster's office. It's 2 open windows, a wooden shack, salt blasted by the sea, and a wooden door that currently stands closed.
We'll walk in.
Okay, you just
I'll,
open the door.
I'll knock on the door if there's a door.
You knock.
Yeah.
The voice from within says, "Hang on a minute. I'll be right with you." You wait a minute or two, and they actually, who do I want to come out of this door? A half-elven woman comes out of the door, kind of nods to you all, and walks past, going towards the centermost ship. Actually, no, she goes towards the the centermost ship, the caravel, the one that looked the most familiar to you all. She begins walking over there. You guys go in afterwards?
She just walks away and.
Yeah, she nods to you all and then walks towards the centermost ship.
So,
Do you guys go in?
yeah, let's walk
Yeah,
in.
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. You enter, and a grizzled man is sitting behind a desk. This is a very small space, so you guys are kind of cramped in as you all enter the room. He looks you all over and says, "Wow, you don't need to send the whole crew in if you're just docking. It's not that serious. Who's the captain?"
Me.
Not I.
All right, ship's
None of
name
us.
and
Wait.
tonnage.
No, I'm just kidding. We need to hire a ship.
Oh, I see. Well, there are three ships in dock right now. You don't hire them from me. I just take their money when they come in and check their cargo and charge them taxes on it. But I can tell you some information about the three ships. There is the ship out there. Did you see the one with the maroon sails?
Yes.
Junk.
Oh yes, yes.
It's a junk. Captain Nicholas Black Eye. The ship's called the Antrim.
Black guy.
Black Eye.
Ah, yes, yes. Carry on.
Sure. 85 feet long. Nice little complement of weapons. A fast ship trader. Crew of about 8, I believe, on that ship. Middle ship was Polpero, captained by Miss Caleb Harkland. She was the one who just walked out. Hails from Immel Cove. Again, fast ship, a little bit slower than the Antrim, but more heavily outfitted with weapons. Hails from Immel Cove up north. Band of elves who are fighting the humans up there. Mostly trafficking in different resources, weapons, and things like that. The final ship, bit of a wild card. They haven't actually docked yet and exited the ship. I imagine that the crew has been drinking it in town, but they haven't paid me anything and haven't let me get on the ship yet. Tate the Mad is their captain. Bit of a rogue, that one. Don't know too much about him, but as you can see out there, it's a dwarven trireme powered by steam rather than the power of its crew or the wind. I don't know much about its armament. It looks like it has a couple boxes up front that do God knows what. And I know I wouldn't want to go against that armor in a battle, but you'd have to get on the ship to check with them or find somebody in town to meet with them. I don't know much about it. But that's there's 3 ships there. I'm sure any one of them would, given the right price and time on their hands, be able to take you somewhere. I'm not sure where you need to go.
What is the crew looking like on the Caravel, Miss Caliph? How many?
On Polpero. That's a crew of, let's see, there was... it's probably around the same size. I would guess 10 people would be needed to, hair looks good, Mel. 10 people would be needed to crew that ship effectively.
Good to know.
Why do they call him Tate the Mad?
I don't know. That's just, I just know his name.
I'll look at Clarabelle and be like, should probably
It's pretty
steer
mad
clear
to
of that man.
dock on in a major port 30 feet away from the dock and not actually pay your taxes. That's pretty odd. That's pretty
Kind
mad,
of
I would
rude.
say. If you meet him, send him my way.
We'll probably steer clear.
Yeah,
sure.
it's very questionable.
Okay.
Well, if you need anything else, let me know. But if that's all, I have a couple bits of paperwork I need to file. Good luck with your ship bargaining.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure thing.
Real quick before I let you go, Is there any place around here just that has like oddities, like weird stuff? I assume because you have so many boats in and out, there's some pretty interesting stuff that comes through.
Best bet be the marching tankard. Anything strange that comes through these docks usually ends up there one way or another.
Cool.
The ship itself, or the shop itself, is odd enough. But
Oh, is there a place here where I could buy ingot in bulk?
in bulk, we don't have a resident smith in town. Most of the ore and things we get are in raw form, and we send it either to Miteside to be refined or down south.
Okay. Thanks.
You might be able to haggle some off the ship, but it would be raw ore that you'd need to refine.
Cool. Done that before.
Anything else?
That's it.
No, I think we're good.
Thank you.
I
Good
walk
day,
out.
then. He kind of waves you off. Okay. So you guys exit the dockmaster's cabin. I've got full descriptions for all of these ships if you guys want to like walk up and just take them in. You don't have to walk up and like actually talk to anybody just yet. If you want to look at them, I can give you a full description of the ship.
I want to look at the middle one with the white sails and
Yeah, I wanna
Seems
look at
to
the
be the one you
parallels
guys
as well.
amount of weaponry.
most
I don't even
interested
think
in.
I want to look at the one where it was Nate the Mad, something like that.
It was
Yeah,
taken.
I want to go look at the caravel that has like some weaponry and stuff too for our travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. After
Just to
seriously
keep in
looking
mind,
at
the
the middle,
junk also has a good complement of weapons.
Okay, gotcha.
The maroon one. At
after
the
looking
centermost,
at the
oh, sorry.
serious one, I am going to try and inconspicuously get a good look at the all metal one because it's really interesting that it works in water for me.
I would like to look at the big one. The scary one that everyone's scared to look at.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we'll
So what I
probably
was-
look at all of them, which is what I intended for you guys to do anyway. So that's
Cool.
fine. At the centermost dock rests a ship, the name emblazoned towards the stern in flowing script, Polpero. More familiar in style than those that surround it, this caravel, with its large mainmast and two smaller mizzen masts behind, reminds you of a ship you had seen on the Sword Coast. Its large, white central sail is bundled to the yard with thick ropes hanging down ready to release. It boasts a large stern castle and a smaller forecastle. The ship positively bristles with armament. Immediately visible are two powerful ballista stationed either side of the bow on swiveling mounts, and a light cannon on a similar mount in the stern. 4 gun ports are visible on the port side of the ship, all currently opened. You can see movement from within the ship through these square holes. A long gangplank leads up from the dock to the center of the deck, and 2 elegant-looking sailors are carrying crates and barrels up with a deftness that immediately informs you of their many years at sea. An unfamiliar flag waves from the top of the aftmost mizzenmast, depicting a yellow lion on a red field.
Am I able to see the half elf woman we saw from earlier anywhere?
No, you cannot currently see her.
You said the flag we see isn't familiar at all.
No, it's a yellow lion on a red field. So basically a red flag with a yellow lion who is standing up and roaring in the traditional pose for lions on flags. But yeah, you've never seen it before.
Are any of the other like sailors like near us that are like taking the crates off and stuff?
There are only 2 sailors that are visible on the deck right now, and they're the ones that are carrying these crates and barrels up the long gangplank. You can make a perception check to kind of learn more about them if you would like. If you want to like try to study their features or that type of thing.
I kind of want to know what you mean by elegant. As
Okay,
far as
make a
the-
perception check.
Uh, 20.
20. These are quite obviously elves, at least to some degree. You would guess that they're both men. You know that for a fact. You would guess that they're at least 3/4 elves. One of them might be a full elf. The other one's probably 3/4, judging by the slight rounding on the ears. But they're both very agile, and they're having no problems, even with the boat kind of rocking in a different time than the dock. They are very sure-footed as they carry these barrels, which seem to be rather heavy, up onto the deck of the ship. They're dressed as sailors normally dress. They're wearing rather light clothing, white tunics and brown pants that kind of tie at the mid calf with high boots. So they're not dressed like elegantly or anything like that, but there's something in their actions that belies an elegance, and usually that kind of ties in with their elfin blood.
And, okay.
Do we want to talk to anybody?
Yeah, I would like to go speak to them and maybe venture to see what they would possibly charge for travel.
Well,
I
hopefully it's
agree.
not too expensive.
Do you guys want to approach?
Yes.
Okay,
Yo,
sounds good.
who ate my Zaxby's?
Zephyr, I don't know what you're talking about. What is a Zaxby's?
Man, fuck you guys. Sorry, everybody who's on the mic.
Okay, so you guys approach the Polpero, or you approach Polpero, the ship, getting a little bit further down the dock. As you do, the two sailors who are now walking back down the gangplank kind of notice you and put a hand up. Hello, can we help you?
Is the captain around, or is someone we can speak to about obtaining passage on your boat?
Where are you headed? Up north?
Stale, actually.
Stale.
So across the sound. All right. Well, we are headed to Immel Cove. He kind of looks you over, noticing that that you guys, none of you are, except for Narfrin, elves. You might know it as the Bay of Balderan. It's just a bit up north. We are basically taking weapons up to the elven colonies in the forest of Azamak. He's kind of mostly looking at Narfrin when he's speaking. We might be able to take a slight detour. We are a couple days ahead of schedule, but you'd need to talk to the captain about it. This Caleb.
Can I insight check his reaction to Nerfrim?
Sure. Make an insight check.
18.
18. He just is looking and speaking to the person he thinks he can trust the most in the party.
Gotcha. He's a racist.
But when will your captain return?
She's here. She just got back from speaking to the dockmaster. We just arrived, so we're offloading a couple things to sell, which we'll take up into town, and then we'll be reloading. We're ready to leave tomorrow, which puts us 3 or 4 days ahead of schedule.
So she's on the boat currently.
Yeah, she's up in the stern castle in her quarters. If you wish to go up, I would ask that considering you guys are, your group is larger than the actual crew of this ship, I would ask that only 1 or 2 of you actually enter, if that's all right.
Of course. I'll look around. Who would like to come along?
I think
I'll
you're
come.
probably the best to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was asking who wants to come with him, right?
Yeah, but I was gonna be like, who looks like him? But nobody really does. So you should probably go too, Clairbold, because you're like really nice,
I was gonna say Hezrin.
charming.
Well, he said
Yeah,
1
I'll
or
go.
2.
Yeah, but they seem kind of.
I mean, if you want to bring 3, that is fine as well.
Okay,
And
so
it's not that we wouldn't accept a non-elf on the ship, Dragonborn.
So
I
we'll
was
do.
not trying to say that so you could hear. I did not know your hearing was so good. I'm sorry.
So do me, Hezrian, and Clairbold.
You and Hez can go. I think that might be just keep it light. We don't need everybody, right? So
All right. Let's do it.
Right. Follow me. The one of them kind of goes back, and the one that hasn't been talking goes back and picks up another barrel and begins taking it up the gangplank. The one who was speaking to you kind of holds out his hand to you first, Narfrin, shakes it, and then you, Hezrian.
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well. My name is Valian. It's nice to meet you.
My
Hezrian.
friend. Nice to meet you.
Quite an interesting candor between the three of our names. Let's.
Zafarin. My guys.
He just turns around without acknowledging Zafir, and follows his shipmate up the gangplank. You guys walk up, a little bit of stumbling from the both of you. Just Narfrin, because it's been a while since you've been on a boat, and Hezrian, I don't know if you've been a boat person at all.
I've never been on the boat.
Yeah. So a little bit of like shakiness as you go up, because there's no railings on this gangplank. It is just a bit of wood with like just smaller bits of wood tacked to it to form a little bit of a hold going up. You guys do make it up the gangplank without falling in the water, luckily, and you come out onto the floor of the ship. Looking around, now you can see, because this ship kind of sits really high in the water, you can see that the rest of the crew, at least some of them, are walking around on the ship. You guys, both of you, pretty easily can tell that they're all either elves or mostly elves. Definitely some three-quarter elves, a couple half-elves, like maybe 2 half-elves, and the rest are all full-blooded elves as you're kind of walking around. Valian leads you to the back of the ship where the stern castle is. If you imagine a ship like from like either Pirates of the Caribbean or anything, it's basically a room in the back of the ship that the captain's quarters and possibly some other things lie. This is a very
Under the wheel and stuff.
Yeah, this is a very big stern castle, as you kind of saw in the picture. Meaning that it's probably about half the size of the ship itself. The ceilings in here are probably 6 feet tall, and then towards the back, it goes even higher. So as he kind of leads you forward, he opens the door to the stern castle and motions for you guys to follow. As you enter, this room is kind of a combination crew quarters, and it also leads down. There's a staircase on the left-hand side that leads down to below decks. There are posts all along the right-hand side, and loops of metal on the right wall that allow for hammocks to be hung. There are 12 hammocks across this thing, probably each about a foot apart, all currently empty. And then there is also some storage that's just kind of in the center of the chamber. Towards the back, there's another door. This one looking a little bit more stately. It's got some gilding on it, and a big doorknob and door knocker as well. Valian walks directly to that, kind of walking around and stepping over the various bits of storage that are in the middle, leading you guys, and takes the knocker in hand and knocks twice. From within, you hear a voice say, "Come in." And he opens the door and leads you all in. Caleb, we had a group approach the ship that are interested in possibly hiring us to take them to Stale. I know we're a couple of days ahead of schedule, and God knows we need the money, so I figured I could bring him to speak with you. He's definitely speaking to her with deference, but it's not he doesn't seem intimidated by her or anything like that. He's just talking to her as if she's his captain, and he gives her a bit of respect. She kind of takes in the look of both of you. Let me describe her real quick. She is very well dressed, and befitting her rank, she is the most well-dressed person on the ship. She wears a blue overcoat of wool with some golden tassels that kind of come across her chest and across her shoulder. One shoulder has a pauldron on it of metal that kind of looks out of place with the just lightly armored look of the rest of her. She doesn't really look armored. She's just wearing nice clothes, but she's got this one pauldron on her shoulder. Underneath, she's got a purple shirt that's richly dyed and has almost a shimmer as she moves in it. black, tightly fitting pants and black boots that come up to her knees and have kind of like that thing where with older boots that have like almost like I don't know what to call it. Some of you girls that wear boots might know what to call it. It almost covers your knee, but isn't like attached to your knee. So when you bend your leg, it kind of sticks up a bit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're asking your wife this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So
Okay, we get the idea.
yeah, you get the idea. She's really
Yeah,
well
I
dressed.
get it.
Full boots.
She looks the two of you over and says, well, that's true. We could certainly use the money, but Stale is a bit out of the way. Come, sit. She points to two chairs that kind of sit in front of the large table she is sat at. Taking in the room as you guys step in further, it is, once again, rather richly appointed, though you can look around and kind of see that none of this stuff is really in great condition. It certainly was well crafted and well made, but it is older stuff that maybe hasn't kept up with the repair and maintenance, right? So there's a 4-poster bed over in the left-hand corner with really nice sheets on it, really well made, but you can see some fraying along the curtains that exist on the outside of the bed, as well as some light staining on the sheets. Nothing like she's like pissing the bed or anything, but just the dirt and sea and salt. The table she's got is an oaken table, kind of like a pseudo desk, but a little bit larger to allow for more people to sit around it. There are 6 chairs surrounding it. The finish has rubbed off in places. She has a dagger shoved into the desk kind of near her. The rest of the room is, there are a couple chests against one of the walls and dressers and things like that. As you guys sit, she kind of takes in the measure of you and kind of nods. Right, so you need to get to Stale. I win.
Just as soon as possible, really.
Kind of base out.
Did Valiant tell you that we're leaving tomorrow? Will that be
Did.
acceptable?
That would be ideal.
That is very ideal, yes.
All right. Hello, Andrew.
Hi.
Right. What are you offering?
Well, to be completely honest, we are not. Well, most of our crew that we have with us right now is not very well versed in ship
How many of you are there?
transportation. So there's 10 of us, and then if it's possible, some of our crew would also like to bring some of their horses as well.
10 and horses. My goodness, that's quite the compliment. I'm sure we could fit that many on the ship, as long as your horses don't mind riding below decks. And do you have your own bedding, that sort of thing, and food?
Yes, we would
yes,
be able to
we-
provide for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, good to hear. The trip to Stale will probably take 4 or 5 days on the sea. And we will have to take a slight detour. I don't know, have any of you ever crossed the Sound before?
We have not.
Okay. Just so you're aware, this is the city of Portside, and traveling across the Stale takes us across the body of water called the Verenstone Sound. Were you aware of that?
No.
All right. Well, the Verenstone Sound is a body of water named after Jarrett Verenstone. Have you heard of Jarrett Verenstone?
No.
All right.
We're not from around here.
Understood. All right, then I'll just explain like you know nothing in that case. Jarrett Verenstone was a Minotaur adventurer who came to prominence about 150 years ago in this area. Very famous for his various adventures mapping out Stale and the entirety of the Sound that separates Sheador and Stale. There is a monument to him at the center of the Sound, a little bit north, not directly across from here to Stale, but a little bit north. And you'll have to forgive me, but there is a somewhat of a sailor's tradition, or superstition, if you will, that you must go to the actual Verenstone which is north, as I said, probably add another day and a half to our journey, and leave an offering there before you cross the Sound. It is said that if you do not leave an offering, if you don't stop by when you're making the crossing, ill fortune will become on you. Some ships have been said in the legends to have been destroyed. I've never not left an offering, so my ship has never had a problem making that crossing the 2 or 3 times I have before. So we would have to do that if you're going to be on my ship.
I'll look over at Hezrian
definitely.
and kind of just shrug. And I mean, if they're nice enough to take us across, I don't think that's too much to ask.
No, a day is something we could possibly spare. It's no big deal to me. You got to ask the crew, though. See if it's okay with them.
Excellent. So we are currently 4 days ahead of schedule. We had very good weather getting here, a good wind flowing to the south. We're loading up with weapons to take to our conflict in the north tonight. So doing this would only put us 1 or 2 days behind schedule with you. I will require significant compensation to make the trip. I'm not going to tell you what to pay. You're going to need to make an offer.
Okay.
Have you planned with your group as far as how much you're willing to pay us?
Not necessarily, but that's something we can round up.
All right.
soon.
Excellent. Well, as I said, if we're here till tomorrow, if we haven't heard from you by tomorrow morning, we are going to ship out. We've got a very important mission here. I don't know if you know anything about conflict. I assume you do not, but we have been fighting the humans at the forests of Azamak for quite some time. The Flaming Fist is a mercenary group that are well equipped, and they've locked themselves into the settlement of Fort Flame and are hanging on as much as they can. We consider that area sacred and have been trying to kick them out for years. Our troops are undersupplied and wanting for food and weapons. So it will need to be worth our while for us to wait here or take on a journey to delay our mission. So keep that in mind as you
Understood.
make your offer.
May I ask, which are you guys in need of any types of like weapons like that you're missing, or do you have like any raw materials right now currently on board for them to forge any weapons when you get there? Like, what's the situation?
We are
If you don't mind me asking.
more of a guerrilla group, if you will. Our tactics are smash and run. And again, she is just looking at you, Narfrin, and talking to you, Hezrian. Sure. She's kind of like motioning to you, and she makes some points, but she is mostly talking to Narfrin. We're known as the Cerny Imel, which Narfrin you would recognize in Elvish. Actually, Hezrian, do you speak Elvish?
I do not know.
Okay, so you wouldn't know what that meant, but you would recognize that, Narfrin, as Stoneheart.
Mm-hmm. The Stoneheart.
And you would also know that the Imel Cove, which they said was the name of the place before, you would know that that means the Stone Cove.
Okay.
Or sorry, the Heart Cove, not the Stone Heart. So we don't take materials back to our settlements to have them forged. We need to take the weapons in as quickly as possible so they can be used on the front lines. We use quite a few bows. That's our primary method of attack. Crossbows have been very useful as well because some of our less talented and younger brethren are able to use them without much training, whereas a bow requires a lot more. We're always looking for bolts and arrows because we spend them and lose them quite a bit. That's the most of what we're looking for, but we do of course fight with swords and shield and things like that as well.
Okay. Good to know. We will definitely get back to you by the end of the day. We'll reconvene with our crew and see what we can come up with for you, and hopefully it will be satisfactory.
All right. We will be here.
Also, what time did you guys plan on leaving tomorrow morning again?
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Yes, we should be loaded up tonight. If they give us access to use one of the cranes, we should be fine. Now, keep in mind, you will have to, if you are bringing horses, I assume you stabled them up at the top of the city, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So would they need
will
to be
have to-
brought down with the cranes? How does that work?
You'll have to get access to one of the cranes. Usually, you'll just have to bribe a few of the workers on the crane, and they can transport material for you. But normally, you'd have to go through the whole bureaucracy of the city to get access to a crane. But you might be better off just greasing a few palms.
Good to know.
So keep that in mind, because that'll have to be done before sunrise tomorrow as well.
I'll look over at you again, Josh, and I would think we would be able to get her an offering before we even go to bed tonight. Probably it should only take a few moments to talk with the group, I would think.
Definitely. Easy.
So we will not keep you waiting for sure.
No, we can come back tonight if that's okay with you.
That sounds great, of course.
Will
Hey, out of
we-
curiosity, what are both of your passive insights?
13.
Blast from the past.
Mine's 11.
11. Okay, never mind.
When we do come tonight, do we need to kind of alert somebody that we're here? Can we just walk onto the ship? What's the protocol for that?
We keep a guard at night. The gangplank will be pulled back up onto the ship. So just call out. One of our men will be there to receive you. What were your names?
Narfren.
Hezron.
Hezrian. All right. My name is Kelev Harkland. It's good to meet you both. Just let me know. Will it be one of the two of you, or will one different member of your party come to give us the offer?
Most likely be us, I would think. If that it's more comfortable or whatever works best.
It's fine with me, either way. I hope to hear from one of you tonight. If that was all, I will get back to my work and continue preparing the ship.
I'll hold out my hand as I stand up and then motion to leave or whatever.
Okay, excellent. So you guys start exiting the ship and making your way back down. Meanwhile, everyone on the ship during this time, or everyone not on the ship during this time, you guys were kind of just waiting down at the docks. Looking around, you start to see a lot more activity occurring on the Polpero. Looks like a lot of the crew were bringing things up from below decks and putting them onto the deck to be brought down. So you see probably 4 or 5 more people starting to walk down the gangplank carrying things. It looks like a lot of the materials they're bringing are either natural materials or things that have been made by artisans. So there's a lot of different fabrics that they're bringing down in various different colors, richly dyed, including some of the white fabric that the people that inhabit the city wear, bringing it down onto the docks to then be carried up into the city later on. They also bring down various barrels of different things and place them. You can't obviously tell what's in them, but they're carrying them down and basically just getting everything ready to sell and be brought back into the city. After a while, if you guys don't want to do anything or talk about anything, Hezrian and Narfarin begin walking back down the gangplank to rejoin you.
I'll wave to
We're back.
everybody and keep walking down.
Yo.
And nod.
By the way, before we forget, Tito and Logan, since you guys are sharing a horse, you would have had to either tie it up outside of the city or pay 2 gold inside the city to have him stabled, brushed, watered, and cared for while you guys are in the city for the night. So just take 2 gold out of your inventory if you decided to stable.
Yeah, probably 2 gold.
Okay. Perfect. So you guys are all back, and Aluhrad kind of steps up to you guys. How did it go?
It went well.
It went pretty well, actually.
Yeah, they're willing to take us, but of course they didn't give us a price. They said we would need to make an offering.
All right.
Something we've come back to talk with the group about what we'd be willing to pay or offer.
Did they give you any ideas as far as what would be appropriate to pay?
Not really.
Not necessarily.
Which was a little difficult, but I mean, we may be able to offer other things as well. They are taking some weapons up to an elven colony, so I would be able to give them some crossbow bolts that I have. I don't know if any of you have any extra weapons left that you could have them use.
We could go to the Salty Seafair, that restaurant we saw, and see if anybody there knows what that journey usually goes for. See if we can get an idea before we embarrass ourselves if we don't offer the right thing.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
Don't you guys think we should see what the other ships are doing too? I mean, we might be able to get some more information on what a normal journey might cost from visiting at least the other ship. That's...
I mean, I really want to look at that metal one. Like, it looks like it's completely metal and it's still floating. And I know he said dwarves made it, so they're really good smiths. So I want to like look at it, but we don't have to go with them.
Yeah, sure.
We should at least talk to ships.
You were breaking up, Mary. What was that?
I said I think we should at least talk to the other ships.
Oh yeah, I'm totally in agreement with that as well.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Which one do you guys want to head to first?
I mean, we can go ahead and... Okay.
I couldn't hear you. Kalora, sorry.
Maroon.
Okay. So you guys head to the more right dock, passing or getting closer to the Salty Seafair, which you're seeing more people walk into, and more people drinking outside. Looks like it's getting a little bit more busy as the day wears on. Walking up to the what you now know is the Antrim, a large ship about 85 feet long rocks next to the rightmost large dock. Its dark hull glittering lightly in areas that still possess faded bits of gilding. Maroon fan-like sails are bundled tightly against its 3 masts, which seem to be reinforced with tightly bundled bamboo coverings. 2 gun ports, now covered, are visible on her port side, which is facing you. A small uncovered cannon is visible on the bow, while a medium-sized ballista with gilded limbs glitters on her stern. Her name is painted in a blocky hand on the bow of the ship, the Antrim. A complement of 8 soldiers are seen lounging on deck, some of them sunning themselves on the top of the stern castle at the aft of the ship. A rowboat hangs from the stern of the Antrim, high above the calm waters, swaying gently. As you watch, a stout and weather-worn man opens the door to the crew quarters and steps onto the deck. He is dressed in a long red cloak with dark leathers underneath. At this distance, his most striking feature is his thick ginger beard, unkempt and massive. Also notable is the bicorn hat he wears, with a long feather trailing from the left-hand side, the same color as the sails. A few of the crew members straighten from their lounging as he appears. In a flash, the ship becomes a flurry of activity, with the crew jumping to their assigned tasks about the ship. Also notable is there is no gangplank currently down on this ship that would allow easy passage up and down the ship. You see the people, some of them are climbing the masts, checking the sails. Others are just scrubbing the deck. Some others are checking and rechecking the ballista and the cannon at the top. You see a couple go into the crew quarters, presumably to go down below decks, maybe check on the other cannons down below.
Does anybody want to go check out the ship?
Somebody call out to them. We can't get to the building.
I can get up there probably. How high is it?
The ship probably has 20 feet of clearance above the water at this point till you get to the deck, which those of you that have been on sailing ships before would recognize that it means it doesn't have a very heavy load right now, as it's not sitting very low in the water.
Gotcha.
And that's on the side. The aft castle, the stern castle, is probably 50 or 60 feet up.
Okay. Well, yeah, I could definitely get up there, but maybe that would look like I was trying to invade their ship. I'm not sure. So yeah, somebody who can project well should probably call up there.
So it's 50 or 60 feet up.
Just the very top of the stern castle.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can amplify my voice.
Hello! I scream really loud.
Okay. But one of the sailors kind of like looks down, sees the group of you. What do you want?
What do we want, guys?
Passage.
Prices on passage.
Passage to where?
Where are we going?
Dale.
Stale.
Yes, Dale.
Dale!
All right, he turns around, kind of leans over his shoulder. Captain, we got some people who are looking to book passage. You see the man in the red cloak and his big ginger beard walks over to the side, puts both hands on the deck. Passage to Stale, yeah?
Hello. Yes.
Can you pay?
Well, we are asking about how much that would be.
All right, best come up then. He calls to two of the crew, and they rush forward with a long gangplank and begin pushing it over to the side, and eventually manage to set it down on the dock about 10 feet away from you guys. Head on up.
Sure, I'll walk up.
I follow Core.
Okay. The rest of
I
you
go
stand.
too.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait this time.
Can I go too, or is that too many?
He didn't say.
Logan's just gonna follow them.
I just stand there. I don't move.
I mean,
Okay. Okay. So you guys get up. Those of you that did decide to walk up the gangplank and are now on the deck of the ship, as the crew are still running around their various tasks. The two that put the gangplank down walk back and continue their job of scrubbing the decks. Captain walks up to you, puts out his hand to whoever's the closest, which would probably be Core. I'm Nicholas Blackeye. Nice to meet you. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Core. Yes.
Big fucker, aren't you?
Yeah, that's me. Big ol' guy.
These are your men?
Yeah, these are compatriots of mine. Yeah, we were looking for passage to Stale. Wondering if we could get a, general idea on how much that would cost for you.
Right. We've made this passage to Stale before, so there's quite a few of you. How many is it?
Oh, it's 10.
Is that
Is
including Aluharat
12.
and Atior?
That is 12.
12 of us.
And horses. And horses.
Horses,
Hi,
too.
hi, I'm Kalora.
Nice to meet you, Kalora. So 12 and horses. How many horses?
Oh God.
4, 5, 6.
We have 6.
How much for 12 people, 8 horses?
Oh, it depends on a few things. Any of you sailed before?
Once.
I have.
We're quick learners.
Right. So at least 2 of you have sailing experience. That's a plus. Can you fight?
Yes.
I can kill.
Don't have to worry about that.
We can all fight.
Figured I didn't need to ask, considering the armament you're all carrying. But it's good to know. We are contracted to escort a merchant caravan that'll be arriving in 2 days. across the Sound to Stale. So we are already making the journey in 2 days. If all of you can fight and will be willing to fight, that's going to make things a lot easier. We expect some resistance. It's a rather large caravan, and they'll be carrying gold. So we expect to have some combat. We might even be boarded. No stranger to the crew and I, as far as danger goes, and our cannons pack a little bit more punch than you might expect, considering how few of them we have. Whitby, come over here. He points to one of the guys who put the gangplank down for you. And he walks over and kind of salutes to the captain. Go down and talk to the others. Get a sense of their fighting capabilities. And that's going to be a big question as far as if we're taking them with us or not. Aye, Captain. And Whitby walks down the gangplank. Right, so normally for just people, taking people that couldn't fight across, and if it was a trip that I didn't already have planned, I would charge 600 to 700 gold for this many people. And then 50 gold each for the horses, unless you have their own food, and that would be 20 gold each for the horses if you do. Considering you can fight, depending on how well you can fight, I could knock that down to, say, 400 gold for the people, and I'd give it to 100 gold, or sorry, 50. How much did I say for the horses?
50 gold.
Yeah, so I'd do 25 gold each for the horses.
Didn't you just say that it also depended on if you were going to Stale or not, and you're already going to Stale, so wouldn't that change as well?
That's why I changed the price, young lady.
You said that about fighting. You didn't include that with the trip.
It includes both. The discount.
Interesting.
If you ask why you carry gold and you're going to get boarded, is it because of pirates?
Likely pirates, yes. There will be. There are also some dangers in the Sound itself that I've had to face before. Outran a kraken a few months ago, making the journey. There's also known to be rumors of some more dire threats. But
Such as?
There's been recent rumors of a island that moves by itself across the Sound, and people who see it, there's been a few survivors of ships end up either drowned or escaping in one of their life craft. One of the reasons we carry one.
And
sorry.
I was just going to ask, because you're caravanning, we spoke with another one of the ships and they said it was going to take like 5 days or so to get to Sail. Are you going to have to go any slower because of caravans?
I haven't seen the ships that we'll be taking yet. As I said, they arrive in 2 days. I imagine they'll be swift ships. I don't know how laden down they will be with cargo. They just told me they're bringing gold. I don't even know how much gold. So it's possible that there'll be smaller ships faster, but it's also possible that there'll be massive sailing ships that won't be able to travel as quickly as the Antrim.
You said depends on how well we fight. Is that the kind of situation where we pay you half of what we show you that we have all of it, we give you half of it, and if we're super fight worthy, then maybe we call it a lower price or whatever?
The way it would work is you'd pay me the full amount up front, and if we come into contact with enemies and you fight well, I'd give half of it back.
Okay, that sounds good. Hope we find some enemies then. I got a strong crew if we come with you, so.
Good. Good to know. Now, there is, I don't know, are you guys from these parts?
No.
All right. But there is also the possibility that we will not be able to convince these merchants to pay tribute at a relic known as the Varen Stone. This is the Varenstone Sound. Welcome. Named after a famous adventurer from many years ago. There is a stone in the center of the sound, a bit north of where we are now, where ships passing through will pay tribute. It's a sailor's superstition, but it's kept me safe in the past. We were able to outrun the Kraken after paying tribute, and I personally believe that we wouldn't have been able to outrun it if we hadn't. It's about a day's journey out of the way, but we will be stopping there if I have anything to say about it. The merchants that we're going to be traveling with might not allow us to take that journey. If we do, I expect ill fortune on the voyage.
Okay. It's about
Well, we'll have to talk to our group and see if that's something that we're interested in taking on, and we will get back to you post haste.
So let me know sometime tomorrow, and we should be able to work something out.
Thanks. I'll head down.
I reach up to shake his hand.
He just looks down at you and shakes your hand. Doesn't seem put off by your height or demeanor. Just respectfully shakes your hand.
Before we depart, I just kind of like whisper close to him, like, just so you know, when you're not around, your crew, they're not doing anything. And I just walk off.
He just looks around at his crew, kind of squints his eyes a little bit, walks back into the crew quarters.
I do that thing where you put your hands behind your back and then you like twist around on your heels, and I try and walk like I imagine a pirate would.
Fantastic. Little swagger for Kalora. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys make your way back down the gangplank. Meanwhile, those of you who stayed down below, a sailor comes down to speak with you. Kind of looks you all over. Afternoon. Name's Whitby. We are possibly going to be taking you guys across the Sound. Yeah?
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to get a sense of your fighting capacity. Tell me about yourselves, your fighting style, what you've been able to do, and maybe anything you've been able to fight and win against in the past.
Well, why don't you just
Wait,
go
so
get
what ship are you a part of?
The one I just walked down off of, the Antrim.
Ah, bet.
Why don't you just go get somebody off your ship and then bring them down here, and then one or two people, and we'll just see how it goes. Why don't we just have a
Yeah, I'm not going to
So
risk
just have a little-
injuring my crew. But just why don't you tell me what I asked?
Somebody off of the ship just got off.
Yeah, you guys are still. This is while you guys are still talking to the captain. He sent Whitby down, as he mentioned it. That was during the conversation. He sent Whitby down to talk to everybody else and get a sense of their
His
fighting.
name is Wimpy or Whippy?
Whitby, WHITBY.
Okay.
Witty.
Well, I killed an ancient black dragon that was controlling my city.
We just saved the
What?
city. We came from a bunch of demons, and chased off a dragon, and now we're gonna go hunt him down. We're going to kill a dragon. Is what we're trying to
Are
do.
you some kind of dragon hunters then? 2 dragons?
No, we're
No.
the
The first one was just it was really weird. I got struck by lightning from the dragon, but absorbed it. It was crazy, but yeah, he died. I killed him with my sword.
Make a persuasion check, Zafir.
check. 14.
He just kind of looks at you and nods. You can tell he believes you've probably fought a dragon, but you don't know if he believes that you actually killed one. At least not by yourself. Looks at the rest of you. So tell me how you fight. What is your style? What skills do you have?
I sing
Like a
to
real beat.
destroy my opponent.
Right.
That's not gonna help.
We've actually
yes,
got another one of those on the ship. Rainer is a bard.
I bet I'm better than him.
Probably. He plays the accordion. I hate it.
Accordion? Oh my god, we could have such a fun band. Like,
He plays
we
the
have to go this
bagpipes,
way.
so
That's worse.
I do
yeah,
bagpipes.
exactly.
No, I play also the lute and the lyre. Thank you very much.
I like the loot.
He is not a liar.
I want
Liar for more peaceful times, loot for the standard gold, bagpipes for some craziness happening, you know?
Understood. What about the rest of you?
I'll just cast what is it?
Yeah, this
Misty
nigga trying to
Step.
fight?
I'll just Misty Step behind him and pull out my sword so he can see it, like along his side, and charge it with Divine Fury, like I'm about to smite him. What is it? Yeah, with just Divine Smite, right? So I'd be charging it, and it does the weapon gain like just I'm not sure how it's
Make a strength check for me.
the flavor is on that, right? So I'm not gonna attack him, but I'm just charging
I know.
it.
Make a strength check for me.
Okay. Just a check.
Yep.
Okay. It's a 13 total. It's not a
13
save,
total.
just a check.
Yep. As you kind of put your sword out behind him after teleporting, you see he moves incredibly quickly, grabs your wrist, and wrenches the sword out of your hand.
Shit.
Fuck, man. Hands it back. I like the style, but try not to surprise me. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit easier to show somebody than tell somebody about myself.
So a paladin then, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you just want the easy word, yeah, cleric. He's cleric
Well,
warlock.
I'd like to know about your styles as well. I can kind of tell by looking at you what you do, but
I shoot things.
I too shoot things.
I stand there while people try to hit me, and I hit them sometimes and heal other people the other times.
I
Good
help
to have a
people
healer.
sometimes
That's good.
too.
Excellent.
I'm more of a long range fighter.
All right. And you, the machine.
He's talking to you, be mad.
I know. I kill things.
Does he kill things?
He does a lot. It's scary.
Yeah, don't question it. It's not a good idea.
All right. That's good enough for me, I suppose. Especially if you're planning on hunting a dragon, I would assume you have the capability to fight. So, all right. I know Ron's not here, but he kind of turns towards Ron. Everything okay?
I think she couldn't figure out where she was.
Ron is not paying attention, I guess. So he says to you, Zafir, tell the paladin I apologize for grabbing his sword. It's just a reflex. I've spent a lot of time in combat.
That's not Ron, that's Clarable.
Or sorry, Clarebold. Fuck, it's his name on the Zoom meeting, so it's fucking me up. Yeah, just tell him I apologize.
Okay.
He walks back up the gangplank and rejoins the ship. You guys, the group that were on the ship, pass him as you're coming back down.
I guess we shouldn't pull a sword on that guy.
Yeah.
You guys pulled a sword on him?
I didn't. Mr. Worthy did.
Oh. I hope it was not being mean.
No, Clarabelle
No.
was just showing off.
Yeah, probably thought he was Diesel or something, but
Yeah, he probably forgot how manners work. Haha, forgetting. Haha.
Clarebold, while you walked away, he pulled Zafir aside and said, "You would have heard it." He just said, "Tell the paladin I apologize for grabbing his sword. It's just a reflex. Spends a lot of time in combat."
Oh, no
He
worries.
just walks back up.
I was kind of a dick to do that. It's all good.
And now you guys are all back together. The rest of the group walked back down the gangplank and rejoined.
Oh, so how is this ship?
Hey guys, yeah, it was good. They said that if we want to use them, then they could be at 500 for the for the trip for all of us. 25 for horses.
For each horse.
For each horse. Somewhere around there. As long as we're good fighters, they'll give us some of the money back. As long as we fight, they'll give us the money back at the end of the trip.
What are we
They're
fighting?
expecting some pirates because they're transporting gold on a caravan. More ships are supposed to arrive tomorrow with gold, and then we would head out the next day, and we might have to fight a kraken.
Also, we'd take a little detour, 1-day detour to pay some spirit ferry of the ocean that protects the ships.
Yes, they mentioned the spirit fairy on the elven ship as well.
Spirit fairy.
I'm playing off of core.
That's a core.
I know it's an awesome minotaur.
I think
actually
we
just a rock.
actually used this ship for information to use against the other one that you guys were previously on.
What do you mean?
I liked them.
Well, first of all, we don't know exactly if we can pay like whatever the respect sort of thing to the ferry shit that he was talking about, because the merchants might not want to. So that's a thing. Then people trying to fight us constantly. He expects to know our fighting styles. He also says that we have to pay 400 for us, and then maybe we can get half back, theoretically. So you can use that information and go to the safer sounding boat and negotiate better.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's up to everybody, but I'm personally not very inclined to go on a boat where we're going to get held up on fights and stuff.
Well,
Just, I think it
that-
depends on like what's the most cost effective too. Because if it's like if we fight and then 200 or 250 gold is like by far cheaper than anything else that we would do, I think that still might be the way to go.
Well, and also
we could just
one thing
offer the elves 250. See what they say. Right.
We know that there are pirates in these waters because that's what this ship said. I don't know that pirates really discriminate. If they know a ship has gold, yeah, they'll attack, but the elven ship is going to have weapons. That's valuable too. So it's possible that we might get boarded there as well.
True, we might be fighting regardless.
Possible,
Not too
we like
worried
that
about fighting
on the far end over there.
Isn't there a third ship?
There
Indeed.
Is it possible these guys were the pirates, right? Like, who's like just ready to fight? Like, where they already are?
I think most sailors are ready to fight.
Well, that's true, I guess.
I just think we should just do whatever is the quickest route.
What kind of an offering is it to the Minotaur? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I don't think we're going to have to make an offering. It's just what the sailors themselves make as an offering. I guess the captain, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her.
What were you saying, Cor? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
That was about it, yeah. But no, I think Narfarin's right about the offering, you know. I think he said, you know, he kind of like was like left us out of the equation. He's like, just so you know, passive, mention this. We might stop at this little Minotaur Fairy Island, donate some goods, then we'll be on our way. I don't take any action from us.
So what's the cost of going on that ship then?
On the elf ship,
Yeah, the first one.
we don't know.
We have to make an offering.
Yeah.
All right.
Third ship.
Oh,
Kind of
also,
intrigued.
you guys, the ship on the people on this ship told us that there is also rumor of a floating island that moves on its own that they might run into too, or that we might run into too. So we should probably look out for floating islands that are moving.
Okay, to be fair, but aren't all islands like floating?
But they don't generally move.
Actually, Lex, no, they're not. Most of them are connected to the ground, the seabed.
Damn.
Wait, what?
I thought all the islands were swimming. Never mind.
I thought it was like anchored.
Oh, we've got a lot of work to do once we get you guys back to the school.
I don't know. Are we playing characters or is this what?
So, what offering would you guys be willing to put? I don't know what your goal situations are, what the group's goal situation is right now. So, what would we be willing to do?
Well, I know that.
Less than what the other people said.
What about
I
the
don't
third
know,
ship?
but next time we accept to do a job, we need to make sure there's some money up front. Cause
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm broke.
Well,
we
we
don't.
the third ship, I think, before we make an offer.
Well, I didn't think we were even going to talk to the third ship because they were like, we were just going to look at the third ship.
It was tape the
I thought
map,
we s-
right?
Why wouldn't we talk to them?
No.
Because they're
No, we
crazy.
haven't talked to
No, we
them.
haven't talked to
No, I said why wouldn't we?
Because they're
I
the
think we
crazy ones.
should.
Yeah,
I agree with Kalora.
Let's do it. Let's just check them out real quick.
Can just Tito talk to them?
Sure.
That's a pretty sound idea.
And
I'll go with you, Tito.
I don't know if they would come up.
Hezri and Claire Revolt. These are the 20 charismas.
I don't know. Yeah, if you guys bring Claribold and Hezrin, yeah.
I do
No,
not.
I think
have
Lex should
charisma.
come too.
Just Tito by himself might not be like the aesthetic for like a really strong big fighter, you know.
Is
What are you trying to say,
I think
Core?
of it differently. I was like thinking like he would go in acting like a boss, like, look, that is my crew. I'm in charge of all of them. So clearly I'm either rich or powerful.
Does anybody speak Dwarven?
I do.
Maybe you should come with us then as well, in case they.
I can cast comprehend languages on myself.
Yeah, I'm personally
Matt,
just not
do I-
interested in going.
Do I remember if he said it was a dwarven boat or if it was also a dwarven crew?
He just said it was a dwarven trireme.
Are you not interested in going?
I'm not
But
interested
they're
in going to
not-
that ship.
I'm kind
They're
of.
not docked, right?
They are about 30 or 40 feet away from the dock. They're the way the ship or the dockmaster put it was they were docking, but not docking to avoid paying the tax when actually.
And then he said that we might be able to find them in town drinking and such, but from where we are now, or even if we walk closer to it, can we see if there is any crew aboard?
If you guys want to get closer to it, we can do the description thing, all of that. If you want to walk over there.
Yeah. Let's just walk over there.
Okay. So you guys walk all the way across the docks to the left-hand side. And here is the description of that boat now. Sitting low in the water, a little bit away from the dock on the left, rests a ship that looks nothing like anything you have seen before. This sleek warboat with no sails and dozens of dark metal oars bristling from its side doesn't even look like it should float. Over top of a frame, now that you can see, over top of a frame made of dark wood are mounted overlapping metal plates, forming something akin to lobstered plate mail on the sides of the hull. The deck is simply flat wood with no method of steering or ornamentation to be seen, but at its center sits a dome of hammered copper. The bow is a huge ram, seemingly made from solid steel and ornamented with an oversized hammer at its peak. Two large blue crystals sit on the side of the ram and give the impression that the ship has a pair of unblinking eyes ever watching. Looking closely, barely perceptible rays of heat can be seen emanating from the top of the copper dome.
That's a really cool ship.
Tito, I'll show you Tito, you weren't here when I showed the pictures of the ships, were you?
No.
Okay, let me show you the pictures real quick. So you can all see them again. Just
on Zoom?
I sent
Yeah.
them to Melody. She has them.
Okay.
Oh, Melody is in the downstairs currently.
Mentally.
Can you guys see that? Which one are you looking at right now?
The red flag.
Okay, that's the first ship, or sorry, the second ship, the Antrim. That's the one you guys were just on. The first ship is, or the second, yeah, the first ship, the Caravel, is this one. This is the one the elves were on. You can see my notes right now?
We did for a second.
Okay.
I covered my screen.
Okay, good. So that's the Caravel. And then the dwarven trireme looks a bit like this, but not quite. It doesn't have sails. The top, instead of this this like post, is a hammer. The oars are metal, and there is a metal armor across the sides of the ship. And in the center, kind of between where those two masts are, is a dome of coppered or of hammered copper. The crystals where the eyes are on this ship, that's where the crystals sit. And there are also these two boxes that are on the left and the right-hand sides. See those? They're made of iron, these two boxes, and they do have these little holes in the front.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell my little ladybug to be flying over there.
Okay.
How far is it? Is it 40 feet?
40 feet.
That ship looks more protected from things like cannons and stuff from pirates, but also looks like it moves super slow.
Yeah, once it gets over there, I'm gonna take a peek through its up.
Well, Tito, they said it was powered by steam, so it might move faster.
Oh, actually, maybe it might move faster then.
Okay, so you're gonna take a peek. Are you looking at anything in particular, Core, or just trying to get a look at
Trying to see if there's anybody on deck, and maybe looking for like some sort of leader, captain.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, I guess my 18.
18. Okay. The ladybug flies over there and begins kind of just taking in the ship as a whole. She kind of starts at the front with the two crystal eyes and is kind of almost distracted by them for a moment, as they are very clear blue crystal that is really well faceted, and they kind of cut the light in an interesting way as they come through. Continuing on, gets over top of the deck, and there is no one on deck. It is completely flat, this deck, so you guys could really see everything on the deck from your perspective on the docks, considering how low this thing sits in the water. The ladybug, from its perspective, though, can see just behind the copper dome, there's a hatch that is made of iron that kind of covers a like 2x2 section of the boat. The deck is flat wood, but has also got rivets of metal that have been sanded flat that kind of give it a little bit more armor on the top, almost like studded armor does on leather. Getting close to the dome, you can tell the ladybug is warming up a bit. You can tell the dome is emanating quite a bit of heat. The ladybug then flies a little bit beside and looks at the oars. The oars look like they are all made of fine steel. They're all steel oars, and they're all sitting directly horizontal from the water at the moment. Getting a little bit closer to where those connect inside of the ship. There are small ports that each one of these oars sit in, and they have, just so the oars can move, a little bit of space around them where the ladybug can sort of see inside the ship. And looking from this area, inside of the ship is largely brass and metal cogs, where the oars connect to a massive engine that is connected to the what you're now pretty sure is the steam creation vent or creation chamber, that copper dome. So that has an engine connected to that when the steam comes through and is created, runs through the engine, spins the turbines, and then makes these oars actually move. You can't see any crew inside. This area looks like it's just full of all of this metal, so much that this isn't probably the quote unquote living quarters. You would imagine that might actually be below decks under the water.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, one more thing. When the ladybug was up towards the very front of the boat, she got fixated on the two iron boxes that come out of the side. and barely perceptible inside. She got an 18. Is that right? You can see what looks to be like a small candle flame inside the boxes through the holes.
Small candlelight?
Candle flame, like a flame that is just the size of a candle.
Oh.
Resting in each one.
Oh, is that what I think it is?
You can make an either Arcana check or a what else would be appropriate for that? Arcana or
I don't know.
We'll say history, because these are weapons that have been used in warfare before as well.
Okay.
In the past, rather.
Oh, hell yeah, 24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. Give you some info on these. One sec. Gotta pull it back up.
Got some jet engines on the back of this.
That's on the front, on either side of the ram. These are called fire spouts.
Yeah.
Fire spouts are devices that spew great gouts of alchemist's fire onto nearby ships. It consists of a long copper tube mounted in the bow with a pilot light in the front, and a large bellows and reservoir for the flammable fuel, which is probably stored inside of the ship. When a fire spout is fired, it creates a 60-foot line of alchemist fire directly in front of the ship.
Nice. Yeah.
They do
That's what
a lot of fire damage.
And
they're also very uncommon weapons for ship-to-ship combat, though
Sure.
they are very powerful. They're just really hard to make, and the alchemist fire is very expensive to create and buy.
For sure. Okay, cool. I'll pop back in Core's eyes and tell the
Ladybug flits back.
Hey guys, I sent my little bug over there, and the ship is crazy. There's like I don't know if you guys have ever seen these things that are like metal combustion types of things. I've never seen one, but I read about one, and this looks like it. It's like some sort of propelling combustion thing that makes your ship go faster. Also, it's like heavily armored. Also, those little boxes on the front, they spew lots of fire. I'm just saying, probably this is the fastest and most armored ship. So, but I can't find anybody.
Well, maybe we should head to the tavern and find out. We got the information on pricing from the one ship, but maybe that's high too. Maybe we should do a little investigating and find out what passage usually costs.
We could throw a rock at it, see if anybody comes out.
I don't think I can throw a rock that far.
40 feet?
I'm a halfling.
No, 40 feet.
I believe in you. I think you could probably throw a rock that far.
Throw a rock 40 feet.
I can levitate the other half of the way.
Okay, well, you could levitate it there and then throw it 20 feet.
Most people can throw like 100 to 150 feet, right?
That's if you got good strength.
I do not.
It also depends how heavy the rock is.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sure, I'll pick up a rock.
From where? The
We were
dock?
going to throw it at the ship?
Go find a rock at the
Do not do that.
I'm totally going to do
That's
it.
not how we want to make friends.
Mary's not talking to me right now. I mean,
Kalora will then.
Mary's not talking to me right now. I'll start to head back to the shore, find a rock.
Okay, you guys see Core just walk away from you. Core, you walk back past the docks and into kind of like the more sandy area near the shore. With this being, cliffs and stuff, there are some loose rocks kind of towards the cliff. You easily find one of appropriate size.
Size one.
I can't hear you, Michael.
Zafir, after seeing Core give up on trying to get anybody out, will just cast thaumaturgy and say, Hey, is anybody in the dwarven boat?
Sure. That's as Core walked away to go get a rock, and he's now walking back. You say that. A couple people that are, milling about on the docks kind of turn and look at you, but no movement from the trireme.
You know what we can do?
Throw the rock.
I'm assuming a backwards rock.
Okay. Yeah, you get back.
I look to the rest of the group. I was like, we could just usually ask the Dockmaster where Tate, whatever his name is, doesn't know where his crew hangs out.
He didn't.
I would assume he's
he did say
probably
the crew
drinking
has
somewhere.
been ignoring the Dockmaster, right? They've been trying to avoid him, but he believes they made it into town somehow and have been drinking, but he doesn't know for sure. He just assumes because nobody just sits there for 2 days and does nothing, outside of the docks.
I want to say I grabbed like 3 rocks.
Okay.
Hey, Narfrin. You want to see if you can hit that dock over there? Maybe like close to the little the metal half beer thing hatch.
I'm not really near you guys. I said I didn't want to go like anywhere near the ship.
That's right. You're right.
I'm like sitting a little bit farther down the docks, maybe on like one of those big stake poles or whatever that comes out of the water.
I might have said that to you as I got a rock. If I was.
I will politely pass, my good friend, but good luck with that.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I get back. I guess I'm just gonna try to chuck 1 rock without saying anything to you guys.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah, just kind of like near the hatch. I don't want to hit the hatch.
Yeah.
So, nice. What actually does the hatch look like? Well armored, like
it's made of solid iron.
So like hitting it with this tiny rock's not gonna hurt it.
Correct. Most likely.
I'm throwing it at the hatch. What do you want me to do? Ranged attack?
Ranged attack. Yep. Hi, Manuel.
17. 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you hurl the rock at the ship. It impacts kind of like the corner of the hatch and makes a dull ding sound.
Cool. Anybody else want to try? I guess we should. I'm just gonna wait if they come out.
I don't think they're going to be there.
I think we'll go to the tavern.
I agree with you,
Try
Lex.
something bigger than a rock.
Yeah.
Throw Tito.
Here, Brad.
We're going to the salty sea.
The salty splatoon.
Who's that?
If we don't find them in the tavern, I mean, I could always
The salty
fly
sea
over
is
there
the tavern.
and just show up on their ship.
And then get murdered. Good plan.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I like how
Actually,
you
I
guys
was
make
thinking-
these assumptions like these are definitely bad guys. 100%. They're gonna
Lex
kill
doesn't
it.
trust anybody.
It just happens sometimes. And I think it's really funny. That's all.
Or is really hoping they're not bad guys. They're from the north. I hand Brad a rock.
I do not accept the rock.
Anybody else want a rock? No.
Matt, what time is it at this point, by the way?
We'll say it's. You guys got here a little bit late. We'll say it's like coming up on dinner time around 6.
Okay, I'm just trying to keep tabs on when we need to get back to the first ship. So.
Hey, Atior and Aluharad,
Yes.
do you guys know anything about a ship that looks like that?
Not much. Atior, do you know anything? Atior says, yeah, I know a bit. They're really marvels of engineering. There's no real magic involved, which is a really interesting thing. It's it's powered by an engine that basically there's a heating element, and it heats up water, and the water turns to steam, and then the steam is piped through a set of turbines that turn cogs and wheels, and those then power the oars. They can be really, really fast, and they don't require sails and stuff. So if the wind dies down, there's no real issue. They're generally well armored, and there aren't many of them. The dwarves don't really make ships anymore. So this is probably at least 100 years old, this boat.
So what I hear you telling me is that this could be a once in a lifetime experience.
I've never seen one before in person. I've only seen them in drawings and books.
And how old are you?
Old enough.
Are you like 20?
Quite a bit older than 20, Galora.
100?
Do you want me to just tell you how old I am? Do you really want to know that badly?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, let me look up how old he is.
100?
I am. Last birthday would have been 227.
Whoa!
Yeah, I've been around a while.
And you've never seen one? Guys, come on. This is so cool.
Well, it looks like we don't really have much of an option right now. We don't know anybody from the ship, and it doesn't look like they're coming out.
I am going to walk right into that tavern and ask them if anybody is a crew of that ship.
I throw another rock.
Okay, make a ranged attack.
I'll go with Kalora.
I rolled it.
What?
Yeah, I'm also
I'll go
going
with
to the
Kalora.
tavern. I'm going to the tavern.
Yeah, I'm walking away.
I'll walk away with them after I.
Okay, what was the
I'm
what was
going
the
to
roll?
21.
21. Okay, this time right in the center of the iron hatch. Bum. Pause for a couple seconds. Doesn't seem like anybody's coming out.
Yeah, let's go to the tavern.
Okay.
Matt, what was the name of the dwarven ship again?
Seafire. Sorry, I never said that. It is painted on the hull. It's called Seafire.
Seafire. Okay. We go to the tavern.
Okay, so you guys begin making your way to the Salty Seafarer. And with that, being 2 hours and 20 minutes into our session, we're going to take our first break. Just be like here in 10 minutes or so. So 4:30.
Okay.
Okay, are we all back?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I feel like I'm not seeing everybody.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Everybody.
Oh no, that is everybody. Okay.
Good.
Let's see. All right. So you guys begin to make your way over to the Salty Seafarer, the tavern that seems to be tied up to the docks. Walking over at this time of night, it looks to be even more bustling than the last time you walked over, with the balcony on the outside, or the porch rather, full of people sitting in the chairs that have been set out there, small tables between them, all of them drinking, imbibing. As you get closer, the sound of music begins to drift towards your ears. Sounds like someone is playing a lute inside of the tavern, and the sound is beautiful. It is a very fantastic player, whoever this is. The song is lively and perfect for drinking and enjoying an evening with your friends. You approach closer and enter the tavern through the front door, and the inside is just as busy as the out. Despite the appearance from the outside of this somewhat rough and tumble floating bar, the inside is quite well appointed. The inside wall has been plastered and has been painted a deep maroon. The oaken bar stretches across one side of the building, with stools with red leather on top of each one. The tables along the side are also wrapped, or the tables in the middle, the 10 of them that are there, are also leather covered. So the tables are covered in leather, easy to wipe down and the seats are well appointed. No leather on the seats themselves, but they're made of solid wood and look to be comfortable. There are many people in here drinking. A lot of them happen to be the sailors that have been on the various ships, and some of the dock workers as well. But you do notice some regular city folk in this tavern as well. They're staying a little bit away from the general rough and tumble people from the sailing ships and the dock, but there are probably 6 or 8 people in the fine white clothes enjoying drinks at their table. The man behind the bar is an elf who looks quite nice. His shirt matches the painted walls of the deep maroon. He's wearing a leather vest over top of that and tight form-fitting black pants with brown boots that come up mid-calf. He is currently at the bar talking to a group of probably 8 people that are clustered about him. And sounds like he is, you can't really hear it over the din of the patrons, but it looks like he is gesticulating and enrapturing everyone with the story that he's telling. At one of the corners is a small stage, semicircular, or actually quarter circular, where a bard, a human bard, is playing the lute. His fingers move very quickly across the strings, making the lively tune all the more exciting as you see the visual representation of how quickly he is actually playing. Tito, you in fact are even impressed with how well this man is playing the music. In fact, go ahead and make a history check for me.
9.
9? Okay. Something about him seems familiar, and something about the song seems very familiar, but you can't really pick up on it. But as soon as you guys begin to hear this song from up close, you're filled with excitement, almost. You feel good, you're excited, and you also feel happy. Like the sound of the music itself is bolstering your confidence and bolstering your emotions. And man, this looks like a great place. It looks like you can have a lot of fun here. Also, quite notable in the bar, sitting at one of the tables closest to the back wall, is a man with a thick black beard. He's human, wearing a black overcoat that kind of comes down to his legs that he currently has draped over his chair. He has one hand resting on the armrest of his chair, kind of with his elbow cocked upward, and the other hand is holding a tankard. He's staring across the table at a large, what should this be? Just a large, like the biggest dock worker you've ever seen, who's not wearing a shirt, canvas pants, jacked, just huge bulging muscles, and that man is currently chugging a drink, and this man in black is just watching him drink. As the massive dock worker finishes his drink and slams his tankard down on the table, you see him sway a bit. 4 or 5 people around watching this stand and kind of focus on him and look at him very intently, and the dock worker falls off his chair onto the floor. The 4 people who are watching stand up and cheer, and the man in black sitting across the table from the dock worker pulls a pile of coins on the table over closer to himself. "All right, I win again." "Who's next?" he says. Nobody is seeming to be jumping in to be his next opponent, but you guys are here in the Salty Seafarer. Your next actions are yours. What would you like to do?
Is that the same song that the sirens sang that one time?
No.
That I memorized? Huh? No?
No, sir.
Okay.
Just
I
happened,
want
sorry.
to approach that musician.
Tito just asked if he recognized the song from the Sirens earlier.
Ah.
He did not.
Hey, Brad. I think is that a drink competition?
Where? Who?
Is that a drinking competition over there?
Yeah, I'll give him a nudge and be like, Brad, you should go take him on.
I think so, but I don't want to kill him.
I don't think you will. He seems like very hearty.
Okay.
You don't have to kill him to drink with him, Brad.
No, but I don't want him to, kill himself from drinking too much.
It'll be his fault.
True.
Does anyone look like?
I'm pretty sure he's a pirate and probably can handle it.
Does anyone look shady? Like something like Lex would recognize, as a rogue.
Make a perception check.
Brad, you should really go get some money for us. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to, then.
I mean, of course, do whatever you want, but
No, I get to drink, so and win money.
You're pretty good at
23.
it.
23. Okay. Looking around, you do notice a couple shadier looking figures. First of all, the man who is presumably in that drinking competition, the man that won, looks like he probably has some quick fingers. They're very long and nimble as he grabs the pile of coins. He doesn't necessarily look like a thief, but he definitely looks like he knows his way around stealing. Or maybe just some tricky movements of the hand. Around him, two of the people that have been watching that also dressed similarly in darker clothing. Those guys look like they're probably cat burglars of a kind. Tight leather clothes, black, dark robes that kind of cover them and hoods up. One of them actually has a hood up. The other one has his hood completely back. But they just look like they're having a good time, having watched that drinking competition. Neither of them look like they're jumping in to be the next opponent, but they look like they're having a good time, maybe having some side bets on who's going to win.
And what did you
Tito.
say the winner of the drinking competitions? He human?
He's human, yeah.
Okay.
Human, slightly muscular human, but he's got a bit of a gut on him as well. Big, thick black beard, nicer, dark clothes. Tito, you said you were going to approach the musician, right?
Yes.
Okay. You walk up to the area of the bar in the corner where he's currently playing. He kind of gives you a nod as he continues to play blisteringly fast on his lute, this beautiful and somewhat recognizable to you song.
Balls of fire.
He just nods as you approach and watch him. You muted yourself.
I just want to listen to whatever he's playing, and when he's done, I want to talk to him.
Okay, sure. So you keep listening as he's playing. He just kind of looks over to you every once in a while, and then looks pointedly at the hat he's got sitting at the edge of the stage. Cool. So, B-Rad, you're going to the table? Are you doing that?
The biggest, baddest guy in there.
Calora's going up to the bar.
And I'm going to go up to the two that look like they were betting on them.
So, wait, what are you doing, Brad?
I'm going up to the guy that was drinking, yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
I'll walk up with him, like behind him, not say anything, just like.
Okay, so the three of you all walk over there.
I want to go.
I'm also going.
Well,
I'm gonna go to the bar with Kalora because I want to talk to the bar guy with her probably.
Gotcha. I couldn't hear you clearly.
Yeah, I'll go with Brad and everyone. Go with Brad.
I want to go with Brad, but specifically over to the gambling table.
That's where I was.
Okay, since the majority of you are going to the drinking competition, air quotes, we'll do that first. You guys walk over with Brad kind of in the lead, and the man with that won is sitting on the opposite side, and he notices you walk over, looks up at Brad. Care to challenge me?
Yes.
Nobody in this place can take it so far, but you look like you've got a little bit more fortitude. Can you actually get drunk?
He can. I've seen him get drunk before.
Fantastic. Yeah, I bet I could win. What do you say? We bet on it?
Yep.
All right, take a seat. I'll tell you the rules. Meanwhile, as he's starting to go over the rules with B-Rad, the rest of you walk over, Lex and Clarabold specifically over to the betting. The guys are kind of like changing coins between each other. A couple other people walk over and put bets in.
What are the odds you got on this next one?
Kind of depends right now. That guy looks like a machine. You know anything about him?
Said he's a warforged.
Well, Tate's still got the upper hand in this one. It's 2-1.
Tate?
Yeah, Captain Tate.
Interesting.
Captain?
What do you know about him?
He's captain of our ship.
Is that one off
He's
in the
good at
distance?
drinking. Seafire, the one not at the docks.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier. It's interesting.
She
I
was a
really like
beaut,
it.
Didn't she? Anyway, you betting?
Yep. 10 gold
10 gold. All right.
on the big guy.
All right. You get 20 back if he wins. What about you? Knight in shining armor.
I'll put 20 on him.
All right. You get 20 back or 40 back if he wins.
Yeah. My gold is the gold from my time. That's all I have, by the way.
He sees the gold and does not even make a mark or a note about it as he puts it into the pot. Anybody else for bets? A couple more people walk up and hand money in. Most are still betting on Tate, but a couple do bet on Brad as he sets up, and they kind of take a look at him.
Can I throw a gold over there and then put in a gold for my tipping hat friend?
You're going to put a gold in the tipping jar and then say, Clairbold, catch this, and throw a gold to Clairbold, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The man who's playing the lute as you put the gold in kind of nods again and continues playing. Clairbold, you catch Tito's coin, and I guess you put it in for Brad since he didn't say.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
Matt, I wanted to make it clear earlier, but I didn't get to. But I was staying with B-Rad to listen to the rules of the drinking competition.
Yeah, I assume you'll all be able to hear it. So. No
Well,
worries.
I wanted to be like right by B-Rad with my hand on his shoulder, just kind of chilling.
Okay, so B-Rad, you sit down and he goes over the rules. I'm just going to read them, but imagine Tate actually telling you the rules. The competitors can ask for between 4 different types of beverages. These 4 drinks are ordered by the amount of alcohol they have. The stronger or more alcohol heavy they are, the higher the DC of the Constitution saving throw they will have to make against getting drunk. There are going to be 4. The 4 drinks are a Seafoam Teeny, a Whitecap Ale, and this is in level of alcohol. So the Seafoam Teeny is the least alcohol. The Whitecap Ale, a Bullgrog, and then the last one is called Kraken's Blood. They all have different DCs based on how strong they are, and they're all worth different points in the game. So a Seafoam Teeny is worth 1 point. A Whitecap Ale is worth 2 points. A Bullgrog is worth 3 points. And a Kraken's Blood is worth 4 points. So the objective is to reach 20 points without falling unconscious or throwing up. Depending on which drink you choose, the number of points, that's the amount of points you'll get for the saving throw, right? So each time you fail a save, you get a penalty that will make it harder to win, while also leaving you 1 step ahead of falling unconscious. If you fail to save, the points are still granted to you for drinking. It's just going to be harder to continue drinking further on. So after your first fail, it's going to be -2 to all your saving throws. After your second fail, it's going to be -2 to all your saving throws and disadvantage on your saving throws. And you're going to have the poison condition. On the third fail, you're going to fall unconscious or throw up.
Okay. I have a few questions. So this is Constitution saving throws.
Correct.
And then does alcohol count as a poison?
For the purposes of drinking, no.
Damn. Okay. I'm good now.
All right. Perfect. Give me 1 sec. So Zafir, you heard all of that as well, if you want to do anything.
Yeah, I guess I'll just try and start casting enhance ability for Bear's endurance to give him advantage on Constitution.
What are the components?
Verbal, semantic.
Okay, so you begin.
I waited till I heard nothing about that in the rules, and then I just start doing it.
Okay, so yeah, you begin to start casting the spell, and Tate kind of looks up at you, and then one of the guys who was handling the bidding said, hey, none of that. We do this without magic, both sides.
Oh, it wasn't in the rules, so I was sorry.
Thought it went without saying, but yeah, it's fine, just no magic.
Cool.
Cool.
Can
So you guys.
see? I don't know if there's a without using detect magic because I don't have detect magic. So can I innately tell if Tate is enchanted with anything or if he has any magic about him?
You can look at his gear and see if anything looks magical. Go ahead and make a perception check.
A 9.
A 9? Okay. Yeah, he doesn't look like anything on him is magical. Hard to tell, especially without casting a spell, but you don't see anything.
Does the person calling the rules, telling us the rules, feel like he is also associated with this captain man?
The person telling him the rules was the captain.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So the rule holder is also the participant.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
So is there like I drink, then he drinks, or is it just like drink them all?
You order drinks at the same time and knock them back, basically.
Okay. Just keep going, or what? Gotta wait for some.
Yeah, well, you yell out the drink you want, and it will be brought to you, and then you drink. So he kind of starts it off and says, "I will take a bull grog to start it off."
What was the teeny thing? The grass teeny?
Seafoam teeny.
Yeah. I'll take one of those.
Okay. So the drinks are brought. The seafoam teeny is brought to you in a delicate glass, a martini glass of sorts. It is light blue, almost teal, and has a bit of foam on the top. Looks delicious. The bull grog comes in a iron tankard and is set down on the table. It's a slightly larger drink, and it looks green and has a thick head of greenish foam on the top.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna drink mine.
Okay, he knocks his back as well. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 19. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. So you both successfully down your drinks. You get 1 point for finishing your seafoam teeny, and he gets 3 points for finishing his bull grog. Both of you kind of size each other up. Tate burps as he finishes his after one pull.
That was pretty strong. I don't know how much more of this I can do.
He kind of puts a confused face on. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Deception. It's a 16.
16? Let's see.
Probably not high enough.
He goes, something tells me you can do better than that. Orders a second drink. Another bull grog for me.
Can I have 19 more of those, please?
It's one at a time, my friend.
Oh, it's one at a time? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like I drink, you drink, we drink at the same time kind of thing.
Yep.
Huh?
Instead of with the most.
I know. I thought it was just like as much as you could drink at one time. What was the
Kraken's blood.
thing that you got?
I got a bullgrog. The options were, once again, Seafoam Teeny, which you've already enjoyed, a Whitecap Ale, a bullgrog, and Kraken's blood.
Okay. Well, I have a proposition for you. If I drink the Kraken's blood, do you want to drink that one too?
Yeah, I can go with you on that.
Okay. Cool.
So the Kraken's blood are both brought to you in very small glasses, almost like a whiskey tumbler. They are thick, black drinks, and there's probably only about a finger of each one in the drinks. The barmaid who comes and brings it then takes a match and lights both of them on fire. They're both now flaming as you take the drink. Tate holds up the glass and kind of motions for you to clink it with him. Clink, he just knocks it back, still on fire without blowing it out. Swallows and then kind of winces a little bit as the alcohol takes effect.
I'm gonna blow out the fire.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drink it.
Sure. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
It is 22.
22. Okay.
Can't do math.
Both of you kind of stretch as you drink, and the burning effect of the alcohol, which tastes a lot like just fire and rubbing alcohol. You both kind of shake it off, and both of you seem to be no worse for wear. Both of you can add 4 points to your total. So you're now at 5, and Tate is now at 7. Ready for the next round?
Yep.
Okay, so he calls out, "No, I don't think I could do another one of those immediately. Bullgrog."
I'm gonna take another one of those.
Okay, so you again have the drinks brought to you. The Kraken's blood is lit on fire. The bullgrog is brought over to him, and he just immediately slams it on the table and begins drinking.
I'm gonna do the same thing and blow it out. Drink it.
Okay. Man, he's rolling really well.
Damn.
Go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Yep. 20. Not natural.
20. Okay, perfect. Both of you manage to hold your liquor. Neither of you begin swaying or start to feel nauseous. Though the alcohol is beginning to take effect for both of you. You can tell he's getting a bit more verbose, but he doesn't look any worse for wear. Add 4 points to you, bringing you up to 9, and 3 for him. Total of 10. He's halfway there, and you're close behind. He kind of sizes you up, looks you over, and sees that you're no worse for wear, and says, "Damn it. Kraken's blood. What do you have?"
Yes.
Okay. So you, have the Kraken's blood brought to you again. Same fire is lit underneath it. He kind of takes a minute before he drinks his, closes one eye, and then
Natural 20.
knocks it back. Natural 20, you're fine?
Yeah, so
Oh, he rolled a natural 22. No shit. Yeah, you guys both finish your drinks and both fine. He's still trailing you, but he's beating you by 1 point. He's at 14 and you are at 13. We're getting close there, friend. We might have to take it to 25 if neither of us are having issues.
Again.
He orders another bull grog. And they're brought out. Takes it and drinks it.
I blow it out again and oh boy. Oh shit. 19? Right, 12 plus. Yeah, 19.
19?
Yes.
Cool. Let's see. He rolls. Yep, he rolls an 18, so he passes as well. You guys are now tied. So you have 17, and he has 17. Well, it looks like neither of us are going to pass out. If we both finish this next drink, it's a tie so far, and we can take it to 30 if you like.
What happens if we tie?
Well, we just keep going, I guess.
I don't know.
You got these, Brad. Come on.
What's your name?
He burps again. Tate. You are?
I'm Brad.
Brad. Interesting name.
It is. So is Tate.
I've always enjoyed it. Bull grog for me.
I'll take the Kraken's blood.
Okay, so you have your drinks brought once again.
Do the
Tate
same
knocks
thing
his
I've been
back.
doing. Oh boy.
And Tate fails his first saving throw.
Yes.
Ugh. He burps again, and you see a little bit of like almost coming up in his throat. He swallows again. Jesus, these things are fucking disgusting.
I got 21.
21, you pass. All right. Tate, damn it. Hit 20, but where are we going to? We have to agree on it. 30 or 25, what are we doing?
20.
I say we just take it to 30. I don't think either of us is going to pass out if we just take it to 25.
I thought it was just the 25 person that wins gets the points.
Well, it was 20, the person that wins, but we got to 20 at the same time.
But I have 21, right?
Yeah, but we reached 20
Okay.
with the same drink.
Well, I'll go to 25.
He thinks about it for a minute. I think we'll go to 30.
I'm feeling 25.
He puts a pile of gold on the table. I say we make it 30. Winner takes the pot. Looking at it, it is somewhere over 100 gold. You're going to have to put in some too, my friend. I'm not sure if you know how this works.
Okay, will the screaming sword thing be okay if I take out a weapon and put it down on the table?
Is it a great sword? Is that what that is?
It's a long sword.
Long sword. Okay. What is it? What does it do? Is it magic?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do. All right.
Okay. Here you go.
Let's get serious. Kraken's blood for me.
I will do the same.
Okay. Kraken's bloods are brought over. Tate just knocks his back. You can tell he's not really enjoying this anymore. Fails his second saving throw. Oh, fuck. Ugh.
$22.
You pass again. So Tate's now rocking a little bit on his chair, and he's swallowing over and over again, keeping his bile down in his throat. But you both get the points, so you are at 25. Tate's at 24. He
You okay?
slams his fist on the table. Bartender, another Kraken's blood.
I'll take another one.
Okay, so they're brought out by the barmaid, who now is looking at Tate with some trepidation as she hands it to him and lights both drinks on fire.
Thank you.
If they fail, don't they get negative points?
He's rolling at disadvantage now and taking -2. to
Okay,
his saving
gotcha.
throw. Yes.
That's what it was.
Ooh.
Okay, blow it out, drink it again.
He drinks his, this time managing to keep it fully down. Both of you are still doing all right. You are at 28. Tate is at 27.
Huh?
All right. Last one. Kraken's blood again for me.
Me too.
The drinks are brought out. We have our final check.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
I got a natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay.
Plus, yeah, I got a natural 1.
So a natural 1 counts as 2 failures.
Fuck.
So you are now going to be, if you continue, you're going to be rolling at disadvantage and taking -2 to your roll. So you finish your drink. You manage to keep it down, but you feel it starting to come up in your bile, and you also realize, fuck, I am wasted right now. Tate finishes his drink, puts it down on the table, slams his fist, and goes, "All right, I'll have one more," and then passes out onto the table, completely falling unconscious. The other 2 crew members who are watching him say, "Oh, fuck," and begin handing out money to the 3 or 4 people that bet on B-Rad. B-Rad, you can take the pot as well. It is 128 gold pieces.
Sweet.
Claribold, you are handed 40 gold. Lex, you're handed 20. They also hand you Tito's 2 gold pieces. They then hand out bets to the other people. God damn, I've never seen him lose before. This guy's a machine. Well, literally and figuratively. You better take care of your friend, though. I bet he's drunk.
He'll be all right.
I'm feeling fine.
We'll have Tate back up and running in a couple minutes. We usually we have a remedy, but we don't like to use it immediately. It gives him a headache, so he'll be out for a while. But sure, we'll want to talk to the man who beat him eventually.
Can I try one of those Kraken blood things?
You could ask a barmaid, I guess.
Cool. I go get one of those from the bar.
I do too, actually.
Okay. So you guys have been watching this for the 15, 20 minutes it took to do this. So we'll jump to the other group. Everybody that went to the bar. Who was that again? I know Cora.
I think just Narfrin.
Cora and Narfrin. Okay. Cool. So you guys head over to the bar, and as they're getting the rules explained to them.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's okay, but if you can mute while I'm talking, that's fine. So you guys walk over there, and the bartender is still in the midst of telling this story to the group of people, and you kind of walk in the middle of it, so it doesn't make too much sense, but you can tell the people who are listening to him are paying rapt attention to whatever the story is he's telling. It kind of goes, so we were in the middle of the Oakensbridge Bay, just trying to dock up at their dock, and there were a group of like 12 people who had somehow heard that we were already going to be there, and they knew we had old Drudeus on the ship, so they were all just fawning over the fact that he was going to be playing in their little town, right? So they show up and they're waiting, and we eventually dock up. It took us like 20 minutes because their dock was so small, and immediately rush on board. And what they didn't know was that Drudeus had gotten off the boat like 2 weeks ago, and so all we had was, at the time, it was Dee Goldspark, and she's the orc that we sometimes play with, the one that plays the harmonica. And oh my God, the looks on these little girls' faces as they were like expecting this handsome man and got this orc woman as they stepped in were hilarious. They were pissed. I gave them free drinks just because they were so disappointed, and they ended up staying. But never quite the same when you think you're going to see one famous bard and it's another one. Anyway, let me get back to the bar. I did know there's a few people waiting for drinks. The barmaids can't handle it all. He kind of turns to the two newcomers, Kalora and Narfarin. Hey, welcome to the Seafoam. I'm Martin. Nice to meet you. What can I do for you today?
Hi, I'm Kalora. Do you have any water?
Yeah, we have plenty of water. We also have things that are quite a bit stronger if you prefer.
Narfriend, do you want anything stronger?
No, I'm gonna stick with water. I'm gonna save my gold for now.
Sure thing. No problem. Is this your first time at the Seafoam? I can't say I recognize either of you.
Yes, it is actually.
First time is get a drink on the house. What would you like?
Water.
I mean, it's free. That's what on the house means.
Okay, I will have an ale.
Ale. All right. I'll choose from the list for you. How about that? He turns around and pumps a very light colored ale that has somewhat green tinges running through it, and puts it on the table in a glass jug for you. And you, my elven friend.
You have like a signature kind of ale, like,
That depends. Would you prefer to get drunk, or would you prefer to just have a nice time?
Have a nice time.
Right. Then you can have what she had. One sec. He turns around and pours the same drink in it's like almost like a mason jar, and hands it over. It's golden ale with motes of green kind of floating through it. Call it a gold spar. I'm sure you'll like it. You both look the type.
Thank you. And I take like the tiniest sip. What does it taste like?
It's delicious. It's very light and not very strong at all. It has a bit of a sweet aftertaste to it, but you also get notes through the nose of freshly cut grass and blooming conifer trees.
Delicious.
That's actually really good.
Glad you like it.
What's your name?
I said before, Martin Seafoam.
Martin. Can I ask you a question, Martin?
Of course.
What do you know about the crew of the Seafire?
Not much, to be honest. They've been in here. Tate over there, the one who is currently, it looks like, drinking with a robot, not surprising, is the captain. The two behind him, I believe, his first mate and just one of the deckhands. But I don't think we've run into them before. This is our third time at this dock in probably 3 years, and they haven't been here when we've been here. I don't know if they favor the same docks that we do, but haven't run into them too much. Hell of a ship they've got.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've noticed too. So we're new in town and are looking to gain passage to Stale, actually. And we've talked to a few of the ships, but unfortunately, not many of us have actual experience with, sailing or paying passage for a ship. do you know what like a running rate would be for like a passage for a group of people, particularly 10 of us?
What are you bringing with you? Goods?
No, just us and some horses.
Ooh, horses can be tough. Well, I guess the sea flame, their ship probably wouldn't work too well, unless you want to lash your horses to the top deck, because down below, I believe, is pretty tight quarters in the sea flame. At least that kind of ship, you know. I'd take you, but we're due to stay here for another week at least. Things are still doing pretty well as far as cash goes, and we aren't really docking anywhere in Stale. That's not really a super, advantageous or wealthy area, unless you're talking to the king or some of his richer people, but they don't like us down there. It really depends on the boat. Out of the 3 ships I'd wager here, you'd probably get the cheapest price on the Antrim. The Elven ship, the middle one, you pay pretty well for those extra guns, extra ballista.
So if we were going to go on the Pulpera with the elves, what would you say is a good rate to offer them?
Well, it depends on what they've got going on. If they've got the time to take you and it's not going to put them behind the schedule, then that's one thing. If they've got other things they need to attend to, I'd probably throw in a little bit of a bonus. I'd say for that many people, I would say 500 gold pieces, including the horses. But if you could trade, I know the elves are rather desperate for weapons, so you could trade a bit and try to lower that a bit. But the Antrim's probably going to be cheaper, but I know they're expecting action.
Okay, good to know.
And as far as the reputation of the I can't say the name of the elven ship, but the elven ship and the interim, what's the more favorable crew? Do they have any reputation of being good or bad?
I haven't docked up near where the Pulpero is housed, where they birth out of before. So I don't know too much. I know the battles that have been going on up there have been pretty rough. The elves see the humans as invaders. The humans see themselves as just trying to carve out a place for humans to live in the country, but I don't really get into politics too much. The battles have been rough. The humans have been, committing some atrocities, and so have the elves. As far as I know, though, the country was the elves first, and the humans did kind of invade. But, I'm not really into fighting too much. So who knows? I haven't heard anything bad they've done in the Pulpero. The Antrim, they're mercenaries. They patrol waters around here, sometimes making it farther north, a lot of times making it farther south, being paid by whoever will have them to, protect caravans, act as a warship in various battles. I know they've been hired by the Parliament in Mightside before to protect the waters up north of there. It just kind of depends. They coin first, morality second, I guess would be what I would say.
Good to know. Good to know.
Sure.
Well, thank you for the drink. Our party is the 2 of us plus the robot, the furry big bugbear, and a whole smattering of others. We're really quite an eclectic crew. So thank you for all of that information. And I heard you talking about your bard. Is that the bard that's singing right now?
The one singing right now is the one I was telling the story about, Drudeus Diao. You might have heard of him.
Have I ever heard of him?
Roll a history check.
Sorry, hold on.
You said history.
Yep. Piper, relax. Narfern, you can roll one too, but the DC is probably going to be a little bit higher for you.
14.
14?
You said history?
Yeah.
Shit. Natural 20.
For a total of?
20.
20? Okay. Yeah, you've heard vaguely of Dredeus Diao. Not as far as like when he lived or who he was or what he looked like, but you are familiar with a couple of his compositions that have been found throughout the years and played by many people throughout Faerun. He was said to be a fantastic lute player, but an incredible talent when it came to composition and writing music, in the fact that his songs that have been found throughout the years, the few that have been found, are considered masterpieces, each and every one of them.
With the knowledge that I have of him, do I know vaguely at what time he lived?
Nobody really knows, to your knowledge, what time he actually lived. The writings that have been found about him are few and far between, mostly not telling a history of him, but just telling about his style of writing music, his ability to play, and of course his name as the composer. But it's all been found in various ruins, usually scraps and pieces, and having to be placed together among a bunch of different things.
Definitely before my time.
Absolutely before your time.
Cool. Good to know.
Well, once again, thank you for that information. The bard plays wonderfully.
He's a rare talent, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
Sure thing. Make sure your friends mention that it's the first time here, so we can get him that free drink.
Oh yes, we'll get them over here.
And if you ever see us anywhere else, feel free to stop by.
Will
Sure.
do.
I'll walk over to everybody and
Yeah, this will
shout
be, we'll say this is directly after the drinking competition where you guys are handing out bets. Narfrin walks back over.
I'll walk back over and say, everyone, first free drink at the bar, go get it.
All right, let's go.
All right.
You're buying us drinks, our friend? How nice of you. When did you come into such money?
The bar gives it.
Oh. Okay.
Meanwhile, as you guys walk over to the bar, Tito, the bard who you've been watching, finishes the song that he had just been playing and kind of nods to you yet again. Hello. Thank you for the tip. I noticed the lute on your back. Are you a fellow player?
Yes, I am. What was that song? It was on the tip of my tongue.
It was a song of my own composition called Pezzastol.
What? Pezzastorm?
Pezzastol, P-E-Z-O-S-T-O-L. It's something in a one Fey language or another. I don't remember what it means, but it sounded pretty.
Oh, it sounded very pretty.
My name is Dredeus Diao. You are? He holds his hand out.
I am Tito Tilly.
Good to meet you, Tito Tilly. Go ahead and roll another history check at advantage, as he told you the name of the song and the his name.
Oh. Oh God, where's my D20? It bounced off onto the floor. The first roll was a 6, so I really need this one to be good. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. 14.
14. It is on the tip of your tongue. You are sure you've heard of this guy before, but you can't remember from where or why. But you're sure you've heard of him before.
Wait, I can't really hear you. It's like cutting out. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, your video is also kind of weird. But he said you don't know exactly who he is. You feel like you've heard of him before, but you don't know from where or why. But you feel like you've probably heard of him before.
I feel like
You're
I've
certainly
heard of your
impressed by his playing. Well, it's not surprising you've heard of me before. I'm one of the more famous bards in the, you could say, the world right now. But I appreciate the recognition nonetheless. How long have you been playing?
How long have I been playing? I feel like I should have that decided. About 10 years.
10 years. That's not bad. How good would you say you are?
I like to think I'm pretty freaking good, you know.
Just play the lute, or do you have any others you can?
I got my lyre and my bagpipes for when I want to get a little feisty.
Well, I could use a break, grab a drink maybe. Could you, do you want to play the next song and maybe we can do a duet afterwards?
Sure, that sounds great.
All right, now if you're bad, certainly that won't be an option, but hop up on stage, give it a shot.
You don't have to worry about that bad part.
Good luck. He steps off the stage and kind of motions for you to climb up and then walks over towards the bar.
All right. I'll pull out a lute piece that I have in my repertoire that's like, I don't know. It's like, do you want me to like give you like a name of a song or like kind of describe what the song kind of sounds
kind of
like?
Just describe what type of song you're going to play, like what type of style, and maybe if it's one that you wrote or if it's one that you learned somewhere, that kind of thing.
I'm gonna do like a non-original piece that's like really fast and like complex, but you know, like good for like a tavern setting still. I don't know how to describe things. Like kind of like it still has like the tavern feel to it, but it's like a complex song.
A little bit more technically impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
All right. Hang on. Where's my phone? I have to make sure what my modifier is.
We're all stacked on the bed and now they're gone. Oh. Okay. What? What is it? Oh, it's a natural one.
Michael, guess that.
For a total of
12.
12. Okay. So you get up on stage and kind of look around at the group. After hearing the bard Dredeus play and play really, really well, you're a little bit intimidated by how well he was playing, and you're still confident that you could get up there and play well. You start playing this very technically intense song and get a few notes in before a string snaps on your lute after you pluck it too hard, and it lets out a discordant gung as the bar kind of falls silent with the loud pinging noise. You kind of look around. There's no.
This feels like Fire Saga.
There's no way you could play this song with without that string. Everyone's kind of looking at you, expectantly.
I immediately get out my lyre.
Okay.
And try to do it on my lyre.
The same song?
Yeah, and
Do Husavik.
I don't know. It won't sound good on a lyre, so probably a different song.
Okay. Same kind of feel, though?
more soothing.
Okay. Go ahead
But
and make another
I'll be
performance.
like, sorry about that. My string for some reason broke. Let me try this one.
Okay, roll again.
Maybe my string won't break this time. Haha.
Maybe.
You want me to roll again?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 16.
16. Okay. You start playing, and the notes successfully are brought out from your lyre as you play the soothing tones of the song you chose. Playing pretty well. It's not your best work, but you feel confident that it's good enough for tavern playing. Maybe you would be embarrassed if you were playing in front of a king with this song, but this is definitely a good song for this environment. And you're playing technically very well. Okay.
I am playing in front of a king. I am embarrassed.
Yeah, maybe internally you're still a little embarrassed by breaking the string. Because it wasn't that the string was worn or anything. It was that you technically pulled the string too hard and broke it. So it was your fault.
Yeah.
Which is not something that happens often to you, being as talented as you are. The rest of you that were walking towards the bar approach, and the bartender is in the midst of another story with a different group of people, telling them about a different birth that they had elsewhere on the continent, and just enrapturing them with stories of a bar fight that broke out at one time, and how the bard that was playing there at that time actually broke his lute over one of the belligerents' head to stop the fighting. Everybody is staring at him in rapt attention as he's telling the story. He notices you all approach and kind of gives them a hand motion, like, 1 second, guys, and turns to you all. You must be the group that came in with Kalora and Narfarin, yes?
Yeah, that's us.
Well, I told him to send you over. First drink's free. What do you have? I'm Martin Seafoam, by the way. Welcome to the Seafoam.
My name's Zephyr, and this is Hezrian, and we both want to drink some
Seafarer.
Kraken's blood, please.
Kraken's blood. Brave. All right. I've been paying for the ones over at the drinking game all night because it's incredibly fun for me to watch, and I've got a little side bet going on. I lost a bit of money on your friend Brad there, but I'm surprised he was able to beat him.
How many do you think I can drink?
He kind of takes your measure. Hard to say. Outside of the drinking game, they are very strong. But I'll pull you one. He grabs a cask that actually the cask is made of iron all the way around as opposed to wood. He unstoppers it and pours 2 of them into the same kind of glasses that you saw Brad drinking them out of, hands them over, and then instead of lighting them with a match, he snaps his fingers over both of them, and both of them just light a flame.
I'm going
Enjoy.
to take it the B-Rad method, blow it out, and drink it.
Okay. Who else was drinking one? Hezrian, was that you?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. How are you drinking? Are you just drinking it with the fire, or are you blowing
I'm
it up?
drinking it with the fire, bro. Fire don't phase me, dog.
Exactly. Go ahead. Make your Constitution save.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. Just passes.
Where's my Constitution? I got an 8.
All right. Hezrian, as both of you drink the brackish and sour liquid that, as I said before, tastes a lot like rubbing alcohol, the warmth burns and suffuses down your throats. Both of you feel this in equal measure. Your heart just kind of blossoms with heat, and your heart almost skips a beat as the pain kind of travels down your esophagus. Ezra, you're not fazed by the fire, but you sure are fazed by the booze in this drink. It feels like you have been drinking fire whiskey all night, almost immediately. You are drunk.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
go, next to them.
Yeah.
What was the the white something drink that was from the competition?
It's one of our more popular drinks actually because it kind of splits between very alcoholic and delicious. It's a white cap ale.
I'll take one of those. And Logan, did you want one?
Yes, please.
All right, 2 white capped ales coming
Can
up.
we get a seafoam teeny? I assume it's named after this.
This nigga gay.
Yeah, sorry, the bar is actually called the Seafarer. The drink and my name is the Seafoam. So I wouldn't say that the Seafoam Teeny is a gay drink, considering it's named after himself. It is quite delicious. He first goes and pulls 2 seafoam or white cap ales out, and they are very interesting looking. They, as he pours them, they almost look like they're enchanted in some way. They're blue, like a very dark sea blue throughout. He hands them over to you, and you can see motes of almost what looks like, you know how when you're in the ocean and you open your eyes or have goggles on and you see motes of sand kind of flickering about? Looks a lot like that. And then the very top of the drink, waves are actually, as he sets it down, even as they calm themselves, crashing towards the side of the drink and forming white caps and then suffusing around. Quite delicious. Enjoy. And then he goes and starts preparing the seafoam teeny, pulling out the various ingredients he needs, putting them in a shaker and shaking it up, pouring it out, and then handing it over to Ron. This very tasty looking.
Nope.
God, your name's is Ron on the fucking thing. It's fucking me up every time. The hands it over to Claribold, and it sets it down in front of you. You notice that one of the ingredients, which is common in actual real martini or real drinks as well, was egg white, and that's what gives it the foam across the top, and its signature name. Hands it to you. Hope you all enjoy. Feel free to come back and order more if those don't satiate you.
Thank you. And then I just down mine.
Completely just down it?
Yep.
Okay. Yours tastes interesting. You wouldn't say it's delicious, but it's definitely good. You expect kind of an ale flavor, and it has that, the same like hoppy kind of flavor, but it also marks tastes of the sea. It's a bit salty and certainly has some more what you would recognize in the human world as umami flavors to it. You can taste seaweed and things like that. It's an interesting drink. And you wouldn't say you don't like it. It's just a little bit different than what you're used to. Go ahead and make your constitution save, please.
Does Logan needs to make one too, right?
It's right there.
If she drinks her drink, yeah.
I'm drinking it.
Okay.
11.
11. Lex, you finish this drink in 1. And after giving it a minute to kind of settle, man, that was good. I could probably have another one of those. You're a little bit drunk.
Like drunk or tipsy?
You're a little bit over tipsy at this point, but you're not as drunk as Hezrian would be because there's just not as much alcohol in that drink.
Not quite woozle level.
Right.
Getting there.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, same thing. You also failed the check, so you're a little bit more than tipsy. Maybe you're a little bit more talkative, a little bit more open to discussing things, but not like Hezrian or Brad at this point being wasted.
I'll slowly drink mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna just crush it. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, yours is quite delicious. Very sweet. B-Rad kind of just downed his and didn't think too much about the flavor, but yours, it's still got some of the slight notes of umami floating through it, as kind of this is a sea themed bar. It's all going to have kind of sea theme, but it has the sweet and also has some berry flavors mixed in as well. It's quite nice.
Do I even need to make a constitution save?
Not if you're not drinking it all in one.
Not in
if you're
one
just going to enjoy it over the course of the next 20 minutes,
yeah,
that's fine.
I'm just gonna like nod to Logan, seeing her drink all of hers at once as well.
Cool. Interesting note about the whitecap ales. As they settle in your stomach and you begin to feel the effects, you can tell that whatever enchantment was making those waves in the tankard is also doing the same thing in your stomach. You feel slight pulses of liquid moving around, almost like when you've drank too much water and then move around a bit and it shakes, except constant. It's not really unpleasant, but it is making you have to burp a bit every once in a while.
I think I'm gonna just like sway a little bit as like the waves would feel like, I suppose. Just kind of
Okay.
sitting there.
You're muted, Zephyr.
Hey, Lex,
Thank you for
aren't you
changing
an
your
air
name,
genasi?
Clairbold. I appreciate that. That is going to help me a lot.
Yeah, I am an air genasi.
Why are you like moving like a wave, like a water genasi?
Because his drink tasted like a water genasi.
The drink? What?
I mean, it was, you know, like the sea, ocean out there. You know what I'm talking about. You're fine.
Okay.
Brad, you raised your hand. What's up? You're muted.
I don't know. I'd never seen that before on here, so that was I wanted to see what he did.
Oh, okay.
I motion to the group because is there a table available that would seat all of us?
You might have to share with one of the tables where like a couple people are just sitting, but the tables are relatively large and long, so different groups are kind of sharing them. So you could find room where all of you could sit together.
Okay. I motion to everybody to huddle up.
Let's do
All
it.
right, I go that way.
So you guys find a space at one of the tables where all of you can sit together and sit down with your drinks. Those of you that have them, a barmaid comes over shortly and kind of checks in with you. Would anyone like anything to drink or eat?
What kind of food do you have that we could keep with us for like 5 days?
Anything that comes out of the sea, we can usually scrounge it up. Salt fish would be good. We also have some, more smoked fish, if you like. That would easily keep for 5 days.
Okay, we might have to get that later, but do you have any fruit?
Fruit. We've got some berries that go into the drinks, I suppose, if you'd like some.
Okay, that and some kind of meat, please.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna wait till you're done. Sorry, with this interaction with the food.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, guys? All right. I'll be back with your food when it's ready. And she walks away.
Okay, guys. So we should probably decide which ship we're going to take. We talked to the bartender who was telling all those crazy stories, and he said that he doesn't know much about the Seafire, that the captain is the one who you were drinking with, Brad.
Passed out guy over there?
Yep.
You mean the one that I beat?
As you guys look over there, you can actually see that the two shipmates of the captain are trying to rouse him. They're holding something under his nose, and they also pull out a vial of something and begin to try to uncork it as they're trying to wake him up.
Do I recognize Vial?
I was trying to pay attention to
No,
when
you don't.
Okay.
Wake him up.
Okay, well that's happening now.
Okay.
What do you think?
I would probably get up and walk over there. That's the same.
Okay. Colora, sorry to interrupt. You can continue.
So anyway, we don't know very much about them. we probably couldn't take our horses on that ship, which is something the bartender let us know. He also said that the what was the A ship, babe?
The Antrim.
The Antrim. The Antrim is basically owned by a bunch of mercenaries. They probably would put coin ahead of morality, before anything else, but they are, mercenaries and can fight pretty decently. And then the Elven ship is, they are at war with the humans, and it kind of seemed like he didn't really care what was going on with the whole politicalness of everything, but that they're pretty decent people, and he thinks that probably about 500 gold would be a okay number to put out unless we have things to trade.
Yeah,
So what's everybody thinking?
I was thinking
Do you know
possibly
what-
if.
Go ahead, my
Michael.
friend.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do we know what they would be interested to trade for?
Probably weapons, if we could give them any of.
I mean, I could definitely help with that.
What kind of weapons?
I could probably make them arrows if they use bows.
Yeah, they really need arrows, crossbow bolts, that kind of stuff. I have some crossbow bolts I was going to offer to them.
I have some weapons too.
Yeah.
B-Rad is a weapon.
You're gonna get rid of me? You're the one that. Never mind. Just.
My friend,
I
I
have
don't
weapons.
usually buy arrows. How much do arrows cost?
Let me tell you.
They're very cheap.
Yeah, like bundles. Wait, hold on.
A bundle.
I think it's like
10
gold,
10 gold for a bundle size. 20.
which is usually 25.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could make like 200 arrows
200 arrows.
in
That'd be
like an
100 gold.
hour.
So that would take like 100 gold off of it. Right there.
Well, I mean, if that's something they want, we should probably talk to them more about trading.
Yeah.
Well, so here, that's what I was going to say next is how much gold do we actually have? I know I have 150 gold. What about everybody else?
B-Rad got money. I saw it.
I just want a little bit, like 128. No big deal.
I have
Well-
50 that I can spend here. So
Yeah, I mean, the 150 gold's all my money. So if
I have
Yeah,
20, but I can have more be converted if we need it, of course.
I have like 130 something total, and then I have a bunch of crossbows and bolts and stuff. If we can like barter, if we have more than just what I have.
Same.
Okay,
I
so
can
if we
do 50. I got arrows. And don't forget, Luharad and Atiel, they're here too.
Yeah, what's
I
the
have 30
Luharad
gold
and
pieces
Atiur.
for this time.
what are you all able to offer, Luharad and Atior?
I have 30 gold pieces for this time period.
Is Matt talking, Mary?
Sorry, yes, I was. Luhrad speaks up. I don't have anything in terms of arrows goes on me, and I generally don't bring much gold anywhere either. I've got 10 gold currently. Atior kind of laughs. Yeah, you can tell he doesn't really leave very much. I've got 460 gold, somewhere around there, that I brought for the journey. I wouldn't like to spend all of it because that's part of what I use to get around and find more students. But I can easily put in 100 gold or a little bit more if necessary.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think we should offer them 400 gold and making of arrows and then any other weapons we're willing to part with. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, we have to. I can't remember if would the 400 gold include the horses that we need to bring as well?
we could. I mean, that could just be what we say.
Well,
That could be what we start with,
Sure.
the elves wanted to like us to make an offer, right? What if we just like start really low, like say, hey, we'll make you 300 arrows and give you 4 short swords. if you take us. And then
That's
they'll
a
be
lot.
like, no. And then we'll be like, okay, we'll do that and 200 gold. And they'll be like, okay.
I don't think we want to insult them either.
Yeah, that's
Wait.
that's my thought too.
Also,
I don't think it's insulting, but
I think
we don't
if
really know.
give them, you can't start that low. Like that seems pretty low.
That's 300 gold worth of arrows.
I mean, I would be
I
fine
didn't
with
think
maybe
it was
saying
that low.
300 gold and then the arrows.
There's a lot of us.
That's more than what the journey would cost. That's 600 gold. 300
So
arrows
maybe
and 300 gold.
so maybe just
Well,
start
to
off
be
with the 200 and the arrows and the swords.
to be fair, on the mercenary ship, he said 600 gold. So that's not that far off either.
Okay.
For just us and the horses?
I know, I was saying, like, that's not starting low, though, if we wanted to start low.
I think what we should do, we start off at 300 with the weapons, and Nofarin proposes the idea because he's an elf, and they obviously have a, liking to elves. Don't bring Logan; she's a human, and Clairvold. He needs to stay away too for a second.
So we've had a couple of things. Do we want to start with 200, 300? What's the group think?
My vote is 200.
How desperate are they for money? Do you know?
Well, I think they are struggling. The barkeep did mention that they were struggling a little bit with what's going on, and then when we went into the ship, they have the supplies, but they're probably due for some upgrades since they've been going in and out of like war routes and stuff.
Also,
Sorry, B-Rod.
nope. I have a question. Didn't somebody mention something about like a sacrifice or something?
You have to give an offering to this statue that's in the middle of the sound.
I don't know if that would be on us. I think that's more on the
That's
ship.
for them.
Okay.
Yep.
Have we given thought to the fact that maybe, I know you haven't heard that maybe the elves are not doing the right thing, right? I mean, anybody can tell us that they're in a battle and it's been back and forth for ages, but I mean, are we sure the money that we're going to give them and the arrows we're going to give them are not going to be used more than to defend themselves? Are they going to go out and murder innocents with them?
What do you call
their
innocence,
land is
though?
being invaded, though.
I don't know.
From what I've heard, their land's being invaded, so I don't really agree with that personally. Also, being an elf.
I mean, we heard that from a bartender.
Also, to be fair, we're not actually.
He's also a
helping them.
sailor as well, so he's been around. But
Were we looking to aid the elves in battle, or were we just trying to use them for passage? Because that's what I was thinking. Yes.
Because if we just give them stuff, we're not really, we're just handing them a bunch of stuff. We don't know what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, we don't know what the mercenaries or these drunkards are doing. And I point
Exactly.
to Kate.
Personally, I would rather fund people that are trying to defend the people that are being invaded than fund the people that could possibly be hired by the invaders. That's just me.
That's a good point.
So that's my point, my view on
But
it.
we also don't know what the full scope of the situation is with the elves. I don't think we need to take that into account really at all.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
just passage. I mean,
yep, that's what I'm saying.
I'm fine with going on the mercenary ship or the other ship. I just think it's whatever is cheapest. And if we want to offer 200, 250, 300 gold and then give them some weapons, that's fine. But if they don't accept that and we know what we can get on a ship, that it's going to be, maybe 600 gold, but if we fight with them, it's going to go down to 300, then that's cheaper.
Yep.
If the elves are expecting 600 gold and weapons, that's a different story,
Then we just take the other boat.
Yep.
Then we go with the mercenaries.
I agree with that. I don't know if I'm there still, but yeah.
Everybody came together. I don't know if Tito's still playing.
Tito's still playing.
Okay.
It seems like a guaranteed fight, which I'm not against. Just making sure that we're all ready for that.
I mean, I think if we go on the mercenary ship, it's probably going to be attacked simply because they know that's coming. You know what I mean? If we go on the elves ship, we might not be attacked by pirates per se, but it's still possible. And it's also possible that we'll run into something else in the water. I mean, there's lots of different beasties out there. So I think, like I said, it really just comes down to the money standpoint.
Yep. So, elves first. If they don't like our offer, mercenaries, and then we go.
It sounds like a good plan to me.
That sounds good to me.
We also
Rapid?
have more time with the
How about this
mercenaries
one,
because
please?
they're not leaving for another day after the elves. So we should talk to the elves now, suss that out, and then
Yep.
if it doesn't work out, we go to the mercenaries.
Perfect.
And we don't want to talk to the sea fire whatsoever.
Yeah. I'll look over at Zephyr. The elf captain mentioned to me, by the way, that if you want to bring your horses down, I know you were definitely looking to keep your horse, you will have to use the cranes to bring the horses down. And she said that it would be better to most likely bribe the persons that are using the cranes, because you have to get approval to use the cranes. So just to give you a heads up.
Okay,
It's
that was
probably the
really good to
case.
know.
It's probably the case for any of the ships. I'm sure we probably have to lift the horses onto them.
No. You have to use the cranes to bring the horses down from the different levels, I think, right, Matt?
That's what I mean. Any ship, we're gonna have to do that. So
I was just letting Michael know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So are we starting at 2 or 3?
I think we
I
started.
think we started
like,
2.
Or
I think
250?
I think 2 is solid because he said he can make 300 gold worth of arrows. I think you said 300 gold worth, Michael?
Yeah, but so the thing, I need the materials for it. So to
That's
make
what I was
300 gold worth of arrows, I would need 300 gold. So that's what I'm saying. We got to find out like what's more important to them. So we got to talk to them. But we do have to get to Josh's birthday dinner as well.
Sure, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's 6 o'clock. So
Okay.
Cool.
So we will end there as you guys are talking about how you are going to gain passage next week, and how you're going to go about it. I will say that to close us, the two, as you walk over there, Cor, and are watching them try to wake up the captain, he finally stirs and then quaffs the small vial of potion they were giving him, stands up, slams both his hands on the table, and says, "Where is that bloody Warforge?" We'll pick up there next week.
There you go.
Keepers!
Awesome, guys.
Cliffhanger.
Bye, guys.
See you later, guys.
You want to say bye, Melody?
Bye. I love you guys.
Bye. Love you
I
too.
love
Happy
you.
almost birthday. Happy birthday, Josh. She's gone already.
Happy birthday, Josh. Okay, bye.